welcome back to Writing Homestuck. Glad to be able to actually use that name now that we actually have it. It's a damn good name. I got Mason and June here today. Sadly, no Arthur. He's busy.
Yeah.
He's busy being a scientist. Yeah.
He's busy doing science.
No, he's with the science team.
He's with the science team. And you may recognize...
Are you right?
No. Do you not remember?
I just heard...
she's not
the science team.
She got transposed to another dimension for a hot second. She's currently experiencing a resonance cascade at the moment.
I forgot that.
It's the thing from Half-Life where the science team meme comes from.
Oh yeah, it
It's
is. Can you tell I've never played Half-Life? I just like loosely know
Damn,
the lore.
that's like rough for you, honestly. It's pretty
I know
good.
it's rough. I know
Rough
it's
for me
too.
Look,
Except
I've
Zen.
owned Portal 1 and Portal 2 for like the better part of like 2 years. I still haven't touched them.
June, I'll do you one better. I've had them for like 4 years.
That's...
Okay. At least I'm not alone.
I can't believe I'm about to start this video with these uncultured swines.
Well, that's the thing. We've got to get all this lack of culture out of our system so that we can focus all of our energy on
focus
cooking.
on the cooking.
I mean, one thing I will say, I bought Chrono Trigger recently.
Hey, now we're talking.
Because it was £2 on Steam sale. So I get to look forward to playing Chrono Trigger after I finish Ori, because I can't start another RPG.
Hell yeah, fair enough. But yes, as I was saying, you may recognize the format of this document, but not the document itself. Because today, as you may have seen from, you know, the fucking thumbnail, we, or at least the title, we are going to be making the post-scratch trollsonas today. Yes, all 8 of them. Even though Arthur is not here, we have got the go-ahead to just kind of do whatever we want.
And then he'll come back and
Yeah, and then he'll have a look at it. Maybe
He'll bring us a revised edition tomorrow.
Yeah, when we're talking about the fucking Pendra guy, it's gonna be whole section subject
Asterisk
check.
City.
Yeah. Well. How shall we begin cooking here? I figure might as well start with some names. Let's give some names right now. For reference as well, some of these characters we have names for, some of these ideas we have names for, ideas in mind, but some we don't, and some we will have to discuss over time. But let us begin with the new Shade guy, whose name
Shade.
Michael Shade.
Michael!
Michael! Based partly off of that, but also partly off of a commenter thinking my name was Michael ages ago.
Oh,
That's really
obscure
funny
bit.
to me.
I want to remember that guy. I want to remember that person's name. Who was that?
I think it was Sushi. Damn. Anyway. But yes, I thought it was really funny at the time, and so I just kind of locked this in as an idea. Spelling may change at some point, but currently it's Michael, spelled M-I-K-A-E-L. Next up, the new Kira.
oh my god,
June.
guys! It's a funny thing. So you know how Julian's name is like July? Well, what if
And
my
June's name is June.
August?
And what if her name just continued that trend?
What if we continued the bit?
Oh my god.
What if we kept the bit
I
going?
get it.
Oh my god, I get it.
Oh my God,
Every
he's
viewer
having
right
a-
now.
they're just having the fucking Danny DeVito bit.
All of them are every single viewer is Danny DeVito. All of them.
The Danny DeVito hive mind.
The DeVito hive mind is watching.
I love how it's literally the first thing
DeVitopia.
that comes up if you just put in Danny DE. It's just that.
Danny
one.
It's just that, of course.
Get it.
Of course. Oh my god. I get it.
Oh, bro needs to get some like eye drops or something, because goddamn.
Shall we come back to the two Hope boys? Because I don't think we actually have an idea for either of them yet.
Correct.
No.
You did not.
Wonderful.
But this one
This
one
we've got
has
an idea for the name.
been set in stone for almost as long as Masson has existed, funny enough.
Yes, because it was part of the backstory.
There he is.
Spelling is correct, am I right?
That is correct, yes.
I have just noticed the both of them do have the double S in the name.
Yep, that was probably on purpose.
Yeah, it was either on purpose or it was a funny coincidence that we just carried forth.
There are
Next.
no coincidences.
New Kermis.
So that'll be the.
That will be.
I know
Callie,
my characters
yes?
by first names. I forgot their last.
I believe this one will be Callie.
Yes.
That was the
okay.
name we came up with for this one.
Callie.
Lovely.
Okay.
I'm really bad at looking at being able to tell what the text color is. So use this.
Yeah,
reference.
especially. I think with the text color as well. We're on fucking dark mode for this, so the visual text color is actually completely different from what the actual text color would look like.
We're on dark mode so that we're not least funniest bit ever everybodying.
So that we're not constantly.
The grammar was a bit all
in
over the place on
least
that
funny.
sentence.
Okay, there we go. This one is
Vivian, if I'm not mistaken.
yes.
Vivian, shout out to Thousand Year Door.
Big ups.
And then
1,000.
finally, big ups Thousand Year Door. And then finally, it was Iridia Artil, wasn't it?
Yup. Iridia.
That's brilliant.
Based off of the metal iridium.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's almost
will-
like I can think
it's-
of.
It's almost like there's a naming theme. Also, I'm not even gonna bother with spell check until we're
Yeah.
finished.
Fuck you,
I'm just
spell check.
not gonna fuck with it. I'm
We
not.
do,
I
we do
can't-
things our way.
I cannot be fucked for it. Actually, let me just. Oh, yes, sorry.
I love actually let me just.
Sorry. First off, I've got to go get the actual planning document open so that I know the base outline we're working with. And second, I forgot to say, now that we've named all of the characters, we'll take a momentary break here to reveal the sprites that I have made before this
What?
episode.
What?
Yes.
What?
So, well, not sprites for the characters, not yet. I haven't made them. But these are sprites
I was gonna
that are
say.
just, like incidental afters from the first arc.
Oh yeah. I think I know what one of
yeah.
these is.
Yes. I believe I mentioned, I'll just post this one first because I think I mentioned it when we revealed the Friendsim sprite for it, but here is Arthur in his Hope gi.
He looks so small.
He does look very small. Arthur.
Give bro some muscle definition.
Well, I would if it wouldn't break the style. I don't think visible abs is exactly the Homestuck way.
No
Shall
offense to
we
your,
say.
no offense to your spriting skills. They are very impressive. But you put this next to the Friendsim image, and it really
no,
is picture
that's-
versus product.
I think really it is very much that's how it goes with Homestuck in general.
Guy's looking like
I'm
a
not
TV
gonna
dinner.
lie. That's just what?
Looks like a McDonald's
that is the
cheeseburger.
craziest thing I have heard anyone say in the last 48 hours. What the fuck? And I only say 48 because I can't guarantee
Okay.
something crazy was said before that point.
Okay. But Mason, what kind
Yeah.
of TV dinner?
The kind that you
kind of-
just throw into the microwave.
No. So are we talking like, is it kid cuisine or is it like
I'm talking like McDonald's burger level of TV product, like just like how did you what is this lie that this picture is telling me? Because what I have on my plate in front of me is, and I'm using a plate at McDonald's, and that tells you how much you know about me. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I think what you've entered here is a state I am rather familiar with. Analogy hell.
Bumblesburg.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Needless to
I'll be
say,
back in a second. I just need to.
Analogy way too far, and now you just do not know how to get back.
Error 404. Analogy not found.
I'll be back in a second. I just need to.
That be Homestuck.
Go ahead.
That be Homestuck.
Point is, I like the sprite, but you know.
I am pretty sure if we saw like, say, Skylar in the original Homestuck style, it would be very much the same deal.
Yeah.
It would be very much a similar shtick going on. Next up, I will save the last one for a little bit. So, next up, I have 9 images at the same time, and it's all...
Also, June isn't here at the moment.
I'm here.
Yes.
No, June is now here. Go ahead.
That's why I was saving another one.
Okay.
Here's all of the new Nemina stuff. We have an alternate god tier, as well as versions of previous outfits and the alternate god tier, both without the hat and with scarf, and with the hat and without scarf. And the with scarf, no hat ones look pretty cool.
Yeah.
God, does he look like a fucking just a like, what is he when he's not got the scarf and does have the hat? He looks very silly.
Looks like he's wearing one of those like war helmets.
Dude looks incomplete without the scarf.
He looks like Sheldon
it's very
from
funny
Splatoon.
Yes, from Splatoon. Yes.
Yeah.
Not from
honestly,
Bazinga.
that sentence could have ended at Sheldon, and honestly, I'd have honestly believed you no matter which Sheldon you meant.
Unrelated cough, sorry.
I mean,
And finally,
but like for real though.
yeah, unironically, actually, no, that's pretty spot on.
Yeah, I concur. Sorry, the cough hit me at the worst time.
In binocular, like goggles, and
There we go. Sorry about that.
him.
Yes. And lastly, Frog Hoodie Damasa.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yes.
Aw, that's adorable.
It really is. And so, we move on. So, next up, should we come back to do troll tags?
Oh, what?
Can
Should we circle back round to troll tags after we've sorted new names, sorted these guys' names?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
can do.
We'll just leave troll tags for later. So, the Hope Boys. I got no fucking idea yet. I mean, more to the point, I've got no fucking idea for the first names. I have some ideas for other parts, but very vague ones. Very vague.
My mind is awash in Arthurian legend, not something I claim to be
think...
proficient in. But my like frame one, Perciv Pendra.
I was going to say Pendra because that's just the other.
So that is Perciv.
Perciv Pendra.
Yeah,
From
either
Percival.
something in like Arthurian mythos or like you just take Arthur's name and just flip it the other way. That's the joke answer I was gonna give.
Ardnep.
Retra.
Retra. Retra pen.
Wouldn't that be Rutra?
Retra?
Sorry, yeah, Rutra, yeah.
Yeah, my favourite friends, Alex, June, and Arthur. Rutra Raggy.
Rutra Raggy.
Right, I don't know.
We got Perciv first.
Yeah.
I'm quite personal
'Cause-
about this.
Perciv is a much better name. Rutra is funnier, but Perciv is a lot better.
Rutra does
and
sound like
will-
more of
I
a
mean,
troll
as I
name.
said, it was a joke answer. It wasn't supposed to be taken seriously.
I can tell you with certainty
Raggy.
that if you had said it first, I would have gone, nah, it's funny, we're going with it. But we got Perciv first, and I think that
Do-
just does actually work.
when you do run all this by Arthur, do propose Rutra as well.
I don't
Arthur, this is
know
your
if
test.
I want to. This is a test of our faith in you. let's
is a
come
test.
back. Let's come back to testing Arthur in real life later. New Peerler.
Ooh, okay.
So that's the thing. The issue is, with me, there's a naming scheme we can work with.
Yeah.
Or with Xander, there's a naming scheme we can work with of I have been given the wrong name at a certain point, and I thought it was funny. With June, there's a naming theme of months. With you, Mason, there's a naming theme of Mario characters.
Yep.
With the 3 NPCs, we had a naming theme, and with Arthur, we can go with the obvious naming theme of Arthurian legend, considering the fact that Arthur Pendra's original name, like Arthur Pendra's name, if you didn't know that Pendra was based off of Pendraig, you would almost immediately think that it is literally just Arthur Pendragon with the N chopped off.
Yeah, because he's not gone, he's here.
But
Although now that has me
is
thinking.
Not really an extendable theme.
You be thinking?
I'd be thinking.
Well, think aloud.
Well,
To us.
you know, Arthur Pendragon had a son in Arthurian mythos. In Mordred. So that's another.
Option for a name, like some kind of short
Okay,
name.
I'll make a note
Mordor.
here.
Mordra. Mordra Pendra.
That kind of sounds real weird.
Really gonna put those two next to each other?
Yeah. I'll just separate it a little bit. Rutra and Mordra.
Beautiful.
We could also, as another way of putting it, Aldred.
Aldred.
Or Dread.
Mordred.
There's stuff we can do with that. There's many alternate names. But
Sorry,
right now,
just a
there's
thought that
another
came to
name
mind.
we gotta fill in.
I just don't know what
This is a
Numina
difficult one.
means, if anything.
Like, where did
Nimina
Peeler come
is-
from?
The word peerless, specifically as a descriptor for how Nimina thinks of himself. And
Right, I
Nimina
see.
was a means name put through, I
Yes.
forget the name of
A blender.
the cipher, but it was Nimina's name put through it was a means name put through a cipher to make Nimina.
Okay.
Well, time to go back to university cryptography and pull up a Visionaire cipher. Let's put Nimina through a Visionaire cipher and see
So
if anything
basically-
cool comes up.
Nimina's name's thing is ciphers. Then
It's
I-
ciphers,
I guess.
I guess.
Right.
Ciphers, I guess.
For those who do not know, a Visionaire cipher is a cipher where you basically take the letter and then you take the entire alphabet, you ascribe a number to each letter, and then you pick a number and you shift everything down the alphabet by that number.
Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, since if you go clockwise around the aspect wheel, hope is the 11th, I'm going to pick the number 11.
Okay. Let's see if
And
anything
let's see if
intelligible comes out of that.
Try it with Nimina, and then try it with Amin, and see if we can just sort of phoneticize it out to...
Okay.
Something
Out to 6.
intelligible.
Okay. Let's see. Is there an online one that I can just use real easy?
I mean, there should be. Someone's gonna gonna put it together at some point.
Encoded, decoder.
Like, it seems like a pretty easy thing to code up. Just conceptually, at least.
I may be slightly forgetting how a Visionaire cipher works.
I mean, I found a Visionaire cipher encoder, like, right here.
Alright, sick, June. Type it in.
I just need to... What do we put in as the key?
Yeah, that's the thing. I may be slightly misremembering how a Visionaire cipher works. Okay, let me just do some maths. Let's just say letters. Oh, well, that's a letters to numbers cipher. That's not really what I want. I just want letters as numbers. Okay, yeah, that'll help. Right. So, okay, so n is the 14th. So, plus 11, it's beginning with a y. Okay, this is probably not going to work. Y, T, X, T, Y. No.
Well,
Y,
I said
T,
the key is
X.
hope, and this is what I got.
Oh?
Oh.
What'd you get? Uzbeo.
Okay, try it with Amin, and then we'll try and see if we can get anything
What is the key?
intelligible.
Or...
No, the word that's being ciphered.
Oh, do try it with a
hope
mean
as the
though,
key.
quick, and then we'll do the other thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
okay. With a
In
mean...
my attempts to flex the one module at university that I was actually quite good at.
AXA.
No. Amin. Let's do Amin. Oh wait, no. Is that Amin done with hope as a cipher?
Yes.
Okay, let's try Nimina with Amin as the cipher.
In my attempts to flex the one module at university that I actually was quite good at, I've immediately
this is
lost all that
nonsense.
credibility. Okay, this is not working as well as I hoped it to.
This isn't working quite as well as. This isn't. Try Nimina and Amin with 11 as the cipher word.
What, like the whole word?
Code
Like
word?
11?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm for fucking spitballing here.
This is just gonna be outtakes. It's just like...
We really are throwing.
This is everything's staying in. Okay.
We
so
really are
got-
throwing darts at a wall here, and the dartboard is in another room.
No. Okay. Now let's try Amin under that.
X.
X.
Ooh.
We could do something with
Okay,
X.
we could do something with that.
I mean, we could just put 2 X's and 2 I's. X me.
We
Peel.
could. I'm thinking maybe add, instead of a second I, just add a superfluous R to make it sort of sounds more rounded out that way, I think. So,
X me. X me peel.
That's something.
it's something.
Better than nothing.
We might come back to that. We might do something else with that. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We kind of played with nothing on that one.
Yeah, we kind of had nothing to work with.
Hooray!
Hooray! We solved the puzzle. We've solved.
We solved
coming up with
the
a name riddle.
Yeah.
We solved the coming up with a name riddle. Now, let's. Do we want to do troll tags now, or do we want to
sure.
circle? Or do we want to
Well,
circle back?
I feel like having the personalities down might better inform the troll tags.
Let's do troll tags last, or at least later.
Or later, yeah.
Let me just pull up my calculator, because next up is age. Basically, how old do we want these characters to be in years, and I will just get that converted to sweeps.
Okay, well, Lewis has to be younger than Masson, obviously.
Or at least
Masson...
younger than Masson will be when Masson arrives in this session. Which means that technically, because I've already got the idea, basically I want the journey to be, I think I said it was going to be 4 sweeps long.
Oh damn, that's a while.
Between session. Well, to be fair, consider, it took 3 years, or 1 and a bit sweeps, for literally almost the best equipped players to travel through Paradox space.
I see. Yeah, that's fair enough.
It took, with a Seer of Light and a competent space and time player working with her to travel
and a meteor that was propelling through
on a
space.
meteor that was being propelled through Paradox space by the psychic might of literally the most powerful psionic ever to be born to the troll race, bar one only. With help.
Yeah. That's
Meanwhile,
fair. Okay.
We're crammed into a slightly oversized Volkswagen Beetle with a relatively incompetent time player, a very adversarial space player, a Lightbound who, while competent, doesn't exactly have all of the resources at her fingertips, and the only other 2 knowledge-based people are one who has to take care of 9 children and a depressed guy who's lost all his power.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot slower.
It's gonna be a long drive.
How long is
Also-
4 sweeps? Is that like 12 years?
No,
It's like-
that's 6 weeks.
It's more like 9. It's more like 9.
9.
I know, because remember,
It's more like
Carcat
9
was 6 sweeps, which is equivalent to 13 years.
It's exactly equivalent to 13
Right.
years, yeah.
So yeah,
Okay,
it's about
understood.
that. Okie doke.
So
Right,
basically,
so-
the amount of sweeps is the amount of years is sweeps times 2 and a 6 and a 6th, which means sweeps is years divided by 2 and 1/6. So, how many years old do we think? I think. Do we want to keep the rule that the peelers are just like older
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
compared to the rest of the cast?
Yeah.
Okay, and it can be a different amount older. Meanwhile, the rest of the cast are all around the same age. So, what kind of age range are we looking at for the majority of the cast?
Considering that the OG cast is going to be older when they get here, I think that these characters should be around the same age, if a little younger.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 years younger, basically like a sweep below
Yeah.
what they're going to be. So I think I believe they were around 10 sweeps old.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
Maybe a little older, maybe a little
These
younger.
guys should be around 13 sweeps old.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
it's about 28-ish.
Okay.
These guys will be about 28 years old. Ish.
Damn. Okay.
Unless we want to increase the gap in age between these guys.
I think it'd be a
these
better
guys
idea
and
to
the
maybe
others.
have them be similar to what the original sweep age for each of our characters were.
So
Just so there's, like, a
around
bit of-
10 sweep. So around 10 sweeps old.
Yeah. Just because I think we can maybe play with that dynamic a bit better.
Yeah, these guys are going to be, younger, less experienced. Makes sense.
Exactly.
And their session isn't
And they
as
won't.
inherently balked as the post-scratch humans session was.
Yeah, no, exactly. That they don't have to deal with the Condus in the background doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. These
And,
guys
like,
have a somewhat
Crazy Eyes
easier
Jack Noir.
ride conceptually.
I'd also like to think that maybe
I'm just gonna put in.
Their
About 10
scratched
sweeps.
world maybe has
And I'll adjust
some
later.
similarities to Before Us. In that
So effectively,
it's-
double reset loops back around a little bit.
Yeah, because it
After
wasn't
Us.
under the influence of it isn't under the effects of
what happened with like Doc Scratch and all that, because forgive me
Yeah,
if I'm wrong,
there's-
I believe
that was part of the reason why things happened the way they did. But I'm not saying it's like completely one-to-one. I think it maybe be like a fusion of the two.
And then I believe there was going to be around 20 sweeps was the idea.
yeah.
Can we frame one? Can we make Lewis 9? Like exactly, yeah, 9. Yep. Thank you.
Zero.
It took a
Zero sweep.
literal newborn. You just got ectobiologized this very moment.
Cool.
Of course, all of the signs have to remain the same because that's how it works. So going in reverse order, we've got Sagigo, Aquilo, Caprisa, Scorist, Aquanius, Arnius, RPO, and Virabor.
I was gonna say my one of my fallback ideas, by far the most drastic, was more for the sake of diversity than anything. Was gonna be that the post-scratch versions of the characters based on real people would have the same like sign. My suggestion was going to be that we change it for the girlfriends post-scratch ones, just so that we could just like have some different aspects in play.
That's fair, but one, literally not how it works, and
Yeah.
two, I've got other ideas for how other aspects can get into play.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
And that'll mostly be stuff that you guys, the audience, will see in like the episodes in the future that focus on the pre-scratch crew and their bumbling journey through Paradox Space. I hesitate to call it a journey because they really have no idea where they're going or what they're doing or how or why.
Paradox Space road trip.
Because as previously mentioned, very tired Lightbound who's having to balance her goddamn Polycule, Spacebound who doesn't care about it all that much and doesn't really want to be there, Timebound who's not really that good at time shit, and then the only two other knowledge-based guys are a very tired dad and a very depressed man with a hole in his chest.
Where we're going we don't need a roads drives into a meteor.
Drives directly slap bang into a black hole and dies.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Some bro's on some Mario Galaxy ass shit.
Yep.
But next up, we have the classes. Because of course, the aspects have to be the same. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
I think my reasoning was like the post-scratch humans had different aspects, but that's not how it works for
But
trolls.
that's not how it works for trolls.
We'll get our Doombound someday.
Oh, I've got plans. Don't you worry, buddy. I've got plans. So, I believe we have, at the very least, 2 decided classes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
So, who would like to go first? Because it is, spoiler alert, it's Lewis and August's classes that we've already got sort of decided. So who would like to go first?
June, after you.
All right.
So,
Up
August
to
is
top.
a witch of Wands.
Yeah. And we will reveal more about her and what she can do later. And Lewis is
A thief of time.
Thief of Time. Right. How foreboding. Right, so I think the next ones we'll put in are the 2 right in the middle. The 2 Hope boys. Because as I have looked at it, I realise, oh, we have very few options for the Hope Bound
Yeah, we're kind of running out.
in terms of classes. Because Prince, taken. Bard, taken.
Page, taken.
Page, taken. Witch and Thief taken on this team by two different people. Mage taken. And Seer
Sylph.
taken by Sylph taken. And Seer taken by a character that you haven't met yet.
And also, technically, Air is taken because of the Spurbsim.
That hasn't happened yet. And also, alternate universe. That's a different situation. We can kind of ignore the stuff that's happening in it. That was,
okay.
I mean, we saw that there is an air of hope in the other thing at the end of Spurbsim 1, but we can ignore that. That's a weird side thing that we'll explain that another time.
Yeah.
Right now, the 4 options that are technically open for the Hopebound are Knight, Air, Maid, and Rogue. But I'm not allowing Rogue, because Rogue means transferable sun form, and that's too much. That's too powerful.
Yeah. Not gonna happen.
So wildly unbalanced. That's like, I know it's not like a video game, but like, a transferable sun form is something that is powerful enough that no stakes matter anymore.
Yeah. I think then our choices are rather simple.
Yes, Knight, Air, or Maid. It's basically, which of the classes are we not going to use on either of the Hope Boys, and then who gets what? My vote, personally, is that Perciv gets Knight.
Yep.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, the Knights of the Round Table theme.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. So basically, really, the only real choice here is Maid or Air. For,
I'd say Maid.
Hexmere.
Put him in a maid
Maid of
class.
Hope.
Because we're not going to let a gendered term stop us.
I mean, we didn't with Sylph.
Yeah, we're not going to... We are not letting such a thing be a bike lock on our creativity bicycle.
I mean,
Here
hey,
at the Shade Boy channel,
let's
since
just
day
just
one,
agree.
we have been proud to stand by the gender non-conforming community. We have been proudly standing by that since day one.
I mean, let's not forget this king.
Right here. That is not even what I was talking about, but fuck it, it works.
Yeah, it works.
That is, I was more talking about the voices we've been doing for various
looking
characters.
for an excuse to bring up this king.
Totally understandable. Cannot fault you for that.
Also, based on my research, I believe that the maid is the one who tidies their aspect, something like that. And I think it's quite funny.
As far as I can tell, maids create their aspect actively, where sylphs repair it, maids just fucking make it. You know?
I think it's an interesting dichotomy between Nimona and Hexmere in that regard.
Additionally, it's a pretty damn powerful combo. Let's not forget that.
Yep.
But on top of that, it's also maids tend to have a heavy stockpile of their aspect, thus being able to make the Joker being made of their aspect.
Hee 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 ha ha ha.
Hee hee ha ha, made of time, ha ha, I'm so funny. Right. This brings me on, or rather, more to the point, this brings me back up to Michael, who I believe, to continue the theme, also a knight.
Yep. And I don't mean to jump the gun, because knights don't have them. I think.
Well, they might.
They might.
Could be on.
Could
be on some Bloodborne type shit.
Could be. I think it would be very funny if, from the start, Michael and Perciv are quadranted. I will leave you to decide what quadrant, but I think it would be really funny if they are quadranted from the start.
I think that would be pretty fun as well. But here's another thing about them both being knights as well. Knights result in their session lacking their aspect. E.g., Dave, Knight of Time. His session lasted for one fucking day. Before completely shitting the bed and dying. Whereas the characters who were literally effectively built to complete the game successfully had a month. Karkat, Knight of Blood. His session, there were very few strong interpersonal bonds. Everyone was kind of just doing their own thing and haphazardly sort of bumbling towards the goal towards the end goal of the game proper of their own volition with no real teamwork. And then in the Beforeign session, Latula, Knight of Mind, nobody made any very few significant standout choices were made. Everyone just kind of milled around and didn't really do much of any real interest or agency. Everyone just kind of fucking was in the session doing things ? For 3 fucking weeks. So there's very little of a knight's aspect in a session. What happens when there's no hope or rage in a session? Something to explore. My thought is,
and especially
very little.
They're opposites.
Yes. My thought, basically, I do a lot of thinking about how aspects are interlinked. Here's a minor treatise on aspects from yours truly. All aspects, at least as far as I can see, there's no hard lines between them. None of them have any this is definitely this, and this is definitely that, and there is a clear line between them, and there's no way you could ever mix it up. You know? Every aspect is sort of more imagine a coloured haze. In fact, actually, editor me, you will almost certainly have the lava lamp sort of effect going on the sides of the video. Just fill in the middle right now. That is what aspects look like.
Is this gonna be another editing thing that you're just not gonna do?
Shut the fuck up. It's so easy to do this as well.
Virtual
also,
high five, June.
Time crunch. I won't be on a fucking time crunch, alright?
Sorry, that was
a time crunch, I'll remind you, that you made.
That was a good one, June.
Anyway.
Look, I'm just quoting someone else's comment.
I saw that comment too.
Yeah. Quoting Stryer. Look, I'll accept that. I'll accept it from Stryer. I've dunked on Stryer. Stryer gets to dunk on me, alright? That's fair. That's the fair trade. I ain't... Okay, no, I've been dunking on you for years. Never mind. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, that's acceptable. Never mind. I have no room to complain. Anyway. Point is...
the way you immediately about
You got so defensive.
Yeah, alright. Anyway, the thing will have been on screen this entire time we're talking. Because I won't be on a time... I won't be on a fucking time crunch. Because I won't be on a time crunch. And therefore will have done this.
Snake, you've created a time paradox.
Speaking of time, we're fucking burning it. Right.
There.
So, aspects, it's very much like just a sea of sort of hazy blotches. The colours, the aspects, they sort of bleed into each other. You know? For example, Mage of Rage, I think of things in terms of rage. So rage is kind of at the centre of my aspect world. But that doesn't mean it's literally in the centre. That's just kind of like how we're at the centre of the observable universe, not because we're literally at the centre of all creation, but because we can only see out so far in every direction, and as such we're obviously at the centre because we can see out the same distance in every direction. But, basically, for example, rage and breath have some bleed together, because rage is... It's not just disbelief and anger, obviously, but it's also the aspect of rebellion. This is pretty explicit on the quiz. But rebellion, by necessity, must lead to a kind of freedom, which is breath's thing. So rebellion kind of sits in the hazy gradient between rage and breath. In the same way, hope and rage are somewhat connected in the fact that they are both based around belief and motivation. Hope and rage, they're the two emotions that are the most motivating. So, motivation sits at sort of the gradient bleed together between hope and rage. time as well is another aspect that has a very easy to understand gradient with rage. Rage and time. It's anger and motivation and action and destruction. These things are very, very evidently linked. So they have a sort of hazy gradient between them as well. Light is less directly connected to rage, but there are, presumably some connections. A lot of aspects are going to have them a more hazy, difficult to see bleed together, but light and mind have a very clear bleed together, These things, they're sort of messy, mixed.
I mean, the concept
They're
of,
not clear-cut.
Rage, that can very easily play into, stuff to do with light and rage and light and mind.
To a certain extent.
Thinking.
To a certain extent, but that's more rage without light, really, isn't it? So it's more of
I suppose.
Conceptually they can kind of mix together. Lightbound do tend to fall into fits of destructive anger, so
Yeah.
that does connect them in a sense. Rage and heart connected because heart is soul and emotion, and heart bleeds into rage because rage is, it's literally named after an emotion. Heart also bleeds into blood because of its connections and connotations in romance, which is a kind of bond, which is what blood's all about. These things, it's not like a clear cut. Well, this is rage and this is breath, and there's no confusion. It's messier.
Yeah.
Some things are a bit in the middle ground, a little bit in 2 domains, or perhaps even 3 domains. And, these different gradients interact with each other and look different wherever. But I think because of that, what it looks like when a session has no rage, or very little rage and very little hope, is it's just generally not particularly motivated. It's just, people are still making choices, people are still doing things, but it's basically very few members of the session, except for the knights, have, that's a very strong sense of, we're gonna go complete the game. Everyone's just sort of doing their own thing for their own reasons.
They
very little.
The drive to play the game, in a sense.
Precisely. With the exception of the knight, because, at the very least in Dave's case, the knight was the one who actually had access to the most of their aspects. So, in Dave's case, the session only lasted a day, but for him it lasted 3 weeks, because he was just time cycling over and over again. And in Michael and Persiv's case, they would be the only ones who can actually really tap into the rage or hope present in their session. And hence, they're the only two who I think would probably be really laser focused on, let's get this shit done. Which is what I think would make it the funniest if they were kismesis with each other.
Yep.
Because then you very much got a sort of basically, how all the Sonic shippers went crazy over Sonic Prime is when Sonic and Shadow were forced to work together for a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that.
That's
what we're doing.
But with actually good writing, hopefully.
I'm talking in general to the audience. Some of them will know.
Okay.
I hope.
Okay, fair.
Some of them who didn't give up
Anyway.
on Sonic Prime.
Well, if they did give up on Sonic Prime, I can hardly fucking blame them. So,
One of these days I'll have to go back.
will you?
Yeah, I think I will.
Oh dear.
That is some resignation. So, that leaves us with Callie, Vivian, and Iridia's stuff. So,
Okay.
I'm just going to remove Knight from all of them because that's been taken. And do any of them have Maid in here? Right, so Callie, Vivian, and Iridia. Let's start with Callie. The options we've got in terms of classes, correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if I've forgotten anybody. We have as classes available, we have Prince, Bard, Page, Heir, Mage, or Rogue available. For
And not
Callie.
Sylph? Isn't Sylph an option?
Sylph of Blood, Sylph of... No, I think Sylph should be... Should it? Yeah, no, Sylph should be an option. I keep forgetting Sylph. I don't think we've
I'm
had a
thinking
Sylph
Sylph of Blood, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Alright, yeah. Sylph
For
of...
very specific reasons that I will keep.
No,
in
sorry, no,
the back.
there is actually a Sylph of Blood that you haven't that we
Oh,
haven't
is
met
there?
yet. No, that's my bad.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I taught Mason helped with this character's creation. It's one of Xander's kids. I'll also tell you the Seer of Hope, also one of Xander's kids. They will be relevant, but it's I haven't actually introduced it yet. My bad. That's my bad.
then. So what are my other options then?
Prince, Bard, Page, Heir, Mage, Rogue.
Maybe Mage of Blood then?
We could always use another member of the Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Yeah.
Mage of Blood. Alright.
Yeah.
Next up, Vivian. Class options. We have Seer, Bard, Heir, and Page.
Air.
Heir of Heart.
Yes.
Sounds good.
That
And
just leaves
also that
Iridia.
does make me think as well. Heir of Heart can turn into a soul. Vivian can go ghost.
See,
Very
when you said Heir of Heart and can turn into, I just thought she just turns into a heart.
She just turns into just a singular organ. What a wonderful power.
God,
I
that's
lose
awful.
90% of my body. I lose 99% of my body, and I'm left with literally just one organ. That's my superpower. And we have Iridia. We can't use Heir or Mage now, so Prince, Rogue, or Seer. I'm thinking Shot in the Dark. I'm thinking Seer. Yeah, I was about to say Shot in the Dark. I'm
damn,
thinking Seer.
perfect. Yeah, Seer of Space then. I will
Alright.
have a
We
seer.
have a seer.
I will have one of them be a seer in
We
some
have a
way
Seer
or
of
another.
Space.
Do we?
No, that was a celebratory. We have a say. Not that there's
Oh, there
already
we
a
go.
say.
Oh,
Sorry.
thank God. Thank God. That would have been okay. Fuck you, Rogue or Prince. Fucking pig, dickhead.
Fine.
No.
Fucking rogue, I guess.
Anyways, Seer of Space. We got it locked in. We'll come back to typing quirk because I think we all know what's coming. A knight. Round table reference. It's fucking gotta be.
Yep.
It's fucking gotta be. That's just what sword kind is called, so they can get, knives and other stuff in there. But yeah,
I don't know
God.
who, but
Fucking
I would like for someone to wield a scythe.
Ooh, a scythe.
It is up to you who.
Maybe.
Just because I like scythes, they're
think
cool,
about it.
and
I think-
I don't believe there's any character who wields a scythe at present.
I forget. Do the scratched versions of characters get access to their original, their pre-scratched counterparts, weapon kind as well? Or is
Yeah,
that-
because I think Roxy could use rifle kind, but she never did. Right? No, she did. She did.
No.
She used.
Well,
she
no,
used
Roxy's primary thing was rifle kind.
But then
Rose
she
used needle kind.
also.
Roxy's never.
Oh, I
used
thought.
No, but
I thought you meant
didn't,
the.
Jane.
I thought you meant the pre-scratch
have
equivalent.
access to hammer kind, or whatever
No.
John's was called again.
No, she used spoon/fork kind.
I'm sorry, I didn't
One
pay
was
attention
a
to what you were
thing
saying, June. I
mentioned.
thought what you meant was like their like pre-scratch equivalents, like
No, well that wouldn't be
Mom
fucking
Lalonde used a
relevant
rifle.
here. Let's not mince words.
Yes, as well. Yes,
that wouldn't
that's fine.
matter. That is not something we're discussing right now. But no, it's their strife specify are completely separate now.
Yeah.
I must have hallucinated that. Or is it just that they have access to 2? Am
I think certain characters have access to 2. I think because John had I think
Bunny
light
kind.
hammer and light. I think John had access to both like a light hammer and a and a sledgehammer kind. I think.
And he used
I
the
might
bunny.
be getting that wrong. But I do know that it's not an exclusive. It's not a thing that all post-scratch characters.
Yeah, it's not like a rule.
It's not like a rule. I think Roxy had hammer kind. Roxy had not hammer kind, fist kind, and rifle kind. Jane only had spoon kind, which then changed to fork kind.
Oh, okay. That's probably what I'm thinking of then. Right. Anyway.
And then I think Dirk and Jake only ever had one strife specimen each.
No, he also used puppets, didn't he? Or was that Bro Strider?
Dirk did have puppet kind and fancy Santa kind, I believe.
Yeah, I
think
remember
he had
that moment.
I think he fully had 3.
There was a moment in Collide where he uses one of the fancy Santas, and then he immediately gets shot.
I mean, okay, we can give these characters. I don't think we actually bothered giving any of the other characters 2 strife specify.
No, it didn't.
So we can give these guys 2. It's just a matter of like we don't have to for all of them. It's the cool thing.
Yeah.
And if we want, we can give one of them 3 if we want one of them to be like really physical focused.
We can do whatever.
Whatever, indeed. So, do we have a second one we might want to give Perciv, or do we want to? Oh yeah, no, sorry, no, we did give Nimina 2 as well because he had rapier kind and
Parrying dagger. I thought that was all just one thing,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's fair enough.
No, that was it was technically 2, but it was like they're supposed to be wielded at the same time, kind of thing.
Oh, 2 for 1.
Kind of like if you gave
okay.
someone sword kind and shield kind, it would be like you're supposed to use both at once, but it's like you can swap out the swords and shields separately, so you can have a particular sword and shield, and then be like, oh, I need a different shield right now, and swap out the shield. But keep
Can we
the
also
sword.
give Perciv a shield? Very traditional knight.
Yeah, we can give
Yeah.
sword and shield kind.
The Defender of Hope.
Yeah. So, who should we give weapons to next?
I've got one for Lewis.
Yeah?
Vacuum kind.
Of course, the funny Luigi.
Now that can either be, using the nozzle of the vacuum as like a weapon, or it could be swinging the body of the vacuum,
Or just sucking people up with it.
or just looking people up with it.
Or just fully Poltergeist 9000 fucking...
I don't know why.
My brain just immediately flashed back to that one Smosh Try Not to Laugh clip that had what's his name? He's on Dropout. Iffy something. You know who I mean.
I think I do.
If I saw a picture.
But
of it.
he just goes, they're getting sucked off.
But yeah, Lewis can, light attack, swing the nozzle at people. Heavy attack, grab the nozzle and just fucking swing the whole body of the vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, for an extremely high range attack, get the extension cord out the damn thing.
Yeah.
And then swing the body with the extension cord on the end to just fucking whip people from 50 miles away. And that
Extension
shit
cord
hurt too. That
kind.
shit's got prongs. That's got some full prongs on it.
Put extension cord kind in there as well.
got to be shortened, but yeah.
Yeah,
Vacuum kind and extension cord kind.
I love that.
Very good, very good. So, any other ideas for weaponry?
August uses pillow kind.
Pillow kind.
To smother people to death.
Yeah. Pillow fight. Whack. You know how like with the right kind of pillow.
You can.
I've been hit with a few pillows in my day.
Pillow, but it's made of rock.
Rock
We made it out
pillow.
of fucking stones this time.
My secret weapon, knife pillow. You swing the pillow and the knives come out of the gap between the pillow cover and the pillow.
You know the phrase a bed of nails? Yeah, well, this is a pillow of nails.
You just shot put it at someone.
And
It
all
just
of
has
them
nails
are
sticking out the other
rusty.
side.
I hope you like tetanus. Well. Okay. Do we have any other ideas? I kind of want to whittle down ideas because I don't think Michael using a scythe quite stacks up personally.
I mean,
It's not what I'm kind of going for. I think
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just like scythes. I'd like someone to
Callie
use one.
could, because
Callie could.
clowns, the jester archetype.
Yeah, kind of a. Yeah, I guess that tracks.
Because purple blood clown, and you know who else purple? Javel.
Yeah.
Chaos.
I'm.
Chaos.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm.
Oh.
We might come back to that one. Maybe we'll see.
We'll come back to that one. That was just
What
that's
about
just like a
Vivian?
placeholder.
What about Vivian and Iridia? Because I kind of want to. I kind of want to see what we've got working with for the others before I think of Michael's.
Iridia.
For some reason, my mind for Iridia immediately goes telescope.
Telescope kind?
Telescope?
I mean,
Because, you know, seer of space, astronomer.
yeah, I assume.
Could alternatively minigun.
Minigun. Okay, here's the thing. I think with Iridia, I think let's just quickly think. What do we actually want to do with Iridia right now? Like, where do we want? What kind of just vague personality traits are we thinking for her?
Actually, maybe not minigun.
I'm thinking for her very much like sort of a pie-in-the-sky dreamer type, effectively, but not like dreamer of like, this is the better future I'm thinking of. More like, ooh, that's a really cool schematic. That's a really cool idea for an invention.
Yeah, still an inventor.
Sort of-
but like more of like an inventor.
Less a fucked up weapons dealer inventor, more of a, I just made this cool funny gadget inventor.
Compass kind. Like a
Sword
drawing
kind. Or
Well,
Molten
yeah,
Torch
basically
kind.
Oh, that's an idea, actually. That's an idea. Okay. I think welding torch.
Yeah.
Welding torch
Give
kind.
your enemy third degree burns. And you know what? And you know what? We'll also go with what was it? Telescope kind as well.
I was thinking wrench kind. Just
Oh, yeah,
fully hit
wrench
them
kind.
engineer style.
Teleporter going up.
Teleporter going up. Ding, ding, ding.
Come on, yeah.
Very nice. So she's basically using her tools of tinkering as weapons.
Yeah.
And then as she sort of alchemizes them, she's not really alchemizing them exactly to be good at hitting things really hard, but very much building them to have additional tinkering features that sometimes just so happen to also help with killing things.
Yeah.
And most of the Grist collection she does is basically her inventions doing the killing for her, and she just sort of cleans up the mess, as opposed to Damasa's strategy, which was, I have a big fucking gun and I'm going to shoot you in the goddamn face with my big gun.
I'm going to shoot you with my gun.
Vivian. What do we think for the Heir of Hearts?
What Specibus did Opal
Heel
have
kind.
again?
Heel kind.
Heel kind. It was full Bayonetta gun heals is what she ended up with for most of her weapons.
Okay, so I think to play off of that then, we should probably give her...
Part of me wants to say ring kind, but then my brain thought, well, if you wear enough rings, that's just knuckle dust.
That's just knuckle dusters. So
I think
okay,
that's
I think I like.
hilarious.
I think
But
I like.
I still think ring
Vivian
kind, because you
being-
could like throw it and like, pooh, ow.
Yeah, and then you can do some different stuff with rings other than just make knuckle dusters. Plus, alchemy, you can make magic rings. Or borderline
Yes,
magic
actually.
rings. Just not
Yeah.
not quite
Ring
ultra
kind,
legendary magic rings.
Ring kind, man.
Or hell, maybe she can make something out of one of the ultra legendary magic rings, like the fucking orb
She,
ring.
she's just Shang-Chi.
That's actually an
Yeah,
idea
fuck.
that I like, Alex. I might steal that.
What, making something out of the Queen's rings?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, that could be interesting. I like the idea of maybe she alchemizes one that effectively allows her to like it's her most powerful ring, but it allows her to temporarily take on the power of the different prototyped things from their session. Of like, it's not a permanent transformation. It's basically like, oh, she has a once per day epic power spell that
She has a
can use
super
for
form.
different- Yeah, she has a temporary super form.
And how do you lose your
20
super form?
seconds or
You
something.
run out of rings.
Ah! Now there we go. Yeah, maybe we could have it basically be like, it's almost a one use. Every time she uses this super form, the ring breaks and she has to use a bunch of grist to generate another one.
Make a new one. Yeah.
Yeah, to get a new one alchemized.
7 rings in hand.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, I believe that leaves just Michael for Strife Specibus.
Did we get something for Exmir?
Oh yeah, no. I forgot about Exmir for a second. What are we thinking for Exmir? I'm thinking, okay.
Serving
let me just- Yeah, I think that looks better actually.
Yeah, that was a
Exmir
bit
with
better.
2 eyes.
What did you say about surfing?
What?
Serving tray.
Oh,
Serving
No, it's
tray.
just another
What?
maid. It's just another maid.
It's just another maid pun.
It's just another maid joke. Ignore me.
I don't think we can make this guy actually a maid, considering literally second from the top on the hemo spectrum. I think that would be a bit
Bro
unusual.
wants to be a maid. Bro was like, why wasn't I?
I think that's kind of. I think that's kind of funny.
Bro uses fucking low blood slurs aspirationally.
It could be. It could
straight
be.
up like, why wasn't I born a gutter blood? Why couldn't I just be a gutter blood? Like, what the fuck, man? You can't
It could-
say that shit.
It could be serving tray kind, and then whatever those like dome things are that they use to reveal food.
I think we should. I think we should. Okay. I'm gonna put in serving tray kind. Let's give him an actual weapon. Let's give him an actual weapon as well.
I mean, yeah, you could give him a cheese knife.
Let's move away from the maid bit for a second.
Knife kind.
Just for a moment.
Then.
So... the fuck? Okay.
He uses the sewing tray just for real.
Oh, what is this I have here? It's a knife!
Nah, it's all knives!
Let me see what you have. A knife! No!
Oh. Plus, then we can do the funny Night of Nights, but he just keeps throwing knives.
Yeah. Because it would effectively end up being throwing knives.
Put Ro
They'd
in
have.
a dress. Make him do the Toho bit.
Which was just a rip on Dio's bit, but better.
I feel like an arc may be being pieced together in our minds right now for this.
Oh, you've gone pale. When you saw these knives, you realised you faced a fate worse than your grandfather.
I do believe an arc may be forming for this character. I wonder what it could be. We'll find out another time. Michael, though. I think for Michael, part of me wants to keep the gun theme going.
So you had
So
shotgun kind.
Mm-hmm.
Sawn off.
My thought is, here's my thought.
Yeah.
And blade kind and
Blade
revolver
and-
kind.
Oh,
Alright. So
So
like a knife
basically,
and pistol
the-
combo.
Basically the Bloodborne joke I made earlier of sword and shield? Nah, fuck you. Sword and gun. Sword and my
But
big
also-
gun.
But also, you can do the... Hold on.
why I oughta.
Hold on, let me... I
She's-
could have sworn
she's
there was
okay.
a...
She's obtaining something. Pokemon sword, Pokemon shield, Pokemon gun.
Sorry, this is taking a hot second.
While you're doing that,
Why is it not coming up? Does it have like a
Specific name?
what are you even looking for?
There we go. Perfect. Found it. Finally.
She's found it. She's obtained it.
Bam.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Kind of. It would be a full sword though.
Yeah, but you did say that blade kind also includes knives.
It theoretically, Michael could do that. He will just use a sword though.
That's fair. It's also just kind of funnier if he does.
Yeah.
Because then he's got this, and then the fucking knife is like an extra 2 feet long.
Holding it reverse grip like Ahsoka.
Oh god.
God.
For some reason.
Let's not address the realism behind that because I'm not getting into it.
We're not doing it. Doesn't work, but we're not.
You in the
getting it.
comments? Shut.
You in the comments? It's fucking Homestuck. None of this shit is realistic. Fuck you mean? This guy's gonna be shooting spiral I-beams out his face. Holding a sword in reverse grip sometimes to hold his fucking pistol up is completely on the table at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Google.
Silidexes.
Sylladex.
Silidexes. Do we want to do Silodexes now, or do we want to get Lusai out the way?
Can
and
do.
then
I just need
move
to
back
remember
round?
what the Silodex I decided for August was.
I did come up with one for Lewis.
Alright, let me just fucking...
Alex, I know I've yapped to you about this before. Do you remember what I said it was?
I haven't noted it down.
Darn. Okay, this is probably going to sound quite simple,
see.
but it's very symbolic. I'm referring to this as second modus. Basically, whatever Lewis wants to retrieve from his Silodex, it has to be the second thing he retrieves. Like, he has to get something else out first before he can get what he wants.
And
So
it's
he
just
always has
completely
to
random?
pull
or...
So he always has to pull another item out and then put it back before he can get the other thing.
Yeah.
And to add, is it a random thing or is it whatever's next to it?
It can be like
Is it like...
the
Or does he basically... Does he pick, okay, I'm gonna waste time pulling this out so I can pull this other thing out? Or is it... He is basically told at random what he's pulling out and has to put back in before he gets the thing he wanted out.
Definitely random. Like, he's cottoned onto it like that's how it works by now, and he's just like, fine. Yep, no. Okay, here we go.
Alright. So, do we have any ideas for any of the others right now?
Well, Julian's was a deck of cards, wasn't it? It was card kind. Well, a card specifies. Sorry.
Yeah, it was
Not
card
card
modus.
Card
Yeah,
modus,
it was
that's
like
it.
a deck modus.
So... probably want to play off of that theme.
Do we want to go with more luck-basting of slots modus?
I was
Of
thinking
effectively-
dice modus.
Okay, so what would dice modus be like? Because I'm thinking with slots modus, it would basically be like she has to get 3 of the item in a row on a slot machine to get the thing.
So, for each item that is added to the modus, there is an additional face of the die. So,
Isn't that kind of
there
what
are-
Masson had, though?
is it?
Masson also had a dice modus.
Yeah, I think that was kind of it, yeah.
I didn't. Sorry, that's probably where that idea's popped into my head from. Sorry.
It's okay. I do think the slot one is probably a more like unique idea.
I don't know. I just don't.
I
like
see
the
where you're
idea
coming
of a
from, but you know,
slots
I don't
modus.
want to have too much overlap.
I just don't like the idea of a slots modus, if that makes sense. It just
Yeah, that's fair
doesn't.
enough.
Um.
Any other ideas?
I mean, I'll acquiesce. You can have a dice modus. It's not a problem. I just
Oh
didn't want...
no! It's fine. I can come up with something different.
Mason, you got any ideas for any of the others? While Jim ruminates?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Shit.
This was the kind of stuff that I didn't really have ideas on, like the more like
Game.
mechanical side of things. It was
Maybe-
more like the spiritual side of things that I was into.
Mhm.
Spiritual.
No, there's not been a modus based around chess, has there?
No, I don't
Don't
believe
think
so.
so.
Chess modus. The way it works is that
Go on.
in order to get the item that she wants, she has to basically play a game of chess where each piece is a different item. So, and she has to knock out. She has to basically remove that piece from the board against whatever chess AI that she has to like play
And-
against.
Winning
three.
And if she has more than 16 items, she has to have one of her own pieces specifically get taken by the other side.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
then
It's
it'll
so
loop
she
back
can
round
store up to
her own
32.
side.
She can store up to 32 pieces in chest, right? So
Yeah.
16 white, 16 black.
16 per.
Yeah.
16 per side. Yeah.
Yeah. So she can store 32. In the Zillidex. So she has to play around. And she does know which piece represents which item because it'll be like
Yeah.
shown on a thing. So
Yeah,
it's
it'll
not
be like
random.
displayed on a thing above the piece or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
Alright. I think we can come back to Silodexes at this point, because I've got no fucking clue for any of the others right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
fair enough.
quickly get the Lussice sorted. What kind of Lussus situation are we looking at for any of these chuckle fucks? There is
My
a part
thought
of me that
for
is slightly tempted for Iridia to just have Brick too, but I don't think I actually want to go ahead with it. But I just think it is a
No.
funny
We need another goofy
We need
creature.
another goofy ass creature.
another goofy goober.
For even
Hold on.
goofier this time. It's got to be even goofier this time.
What's
This
goofy than a
motherfucker
brick?
got to be going gorsh all the time. You know, that's how goofy we're talking.
Well, here's my thought. We did Brick was from Pizza Tower. I'm now looking at
Yeah.
Anton Blast.
That's understandable. That makes sense. Yeah, good. Good carryover. Do we have any other ideas, Mason? Did you have any ideas for Lewis?
In a very similar vein as to. No, never mind. I have no idea what I was going to say. Basically, it's an inverse of Massen's situation where Massen had the Frongus and the burned turtle. It was going to be Lewis's Lussus as a turtle, and then he has a Frongus frozen in a block of ice in his corner.
I like it because we were going to give Lewis cryokinesis. Yeah, that was an idea.
Yeah, that's a little bit of foreshadowing for you.
Well,
all.
I don't really count it. I don't think it's foreshadowing exactly necessarily. It's very
Might as well
explicit.
Might as well just jot that down while you're at it.
We'll come back to it.
Okay, but yeah, turtle Lussus.
Nah. Anton Blast unfortunately does not have any cute animal characters like Brick.
It's not Frongle. It's Frongus. Remember,
Oh yeah,
Frongle is the two of them
yeah.
combined.
Yes. Frongus.
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 What if it's Pillar John? That's the only other character I know from Pizza Tower.
It's just a fucking rock. It's just straight up a fucking stone.
No, it's a pet rock.
No,
It's
actually,
a rat.
That's kind of.
A
That's
rat.
actually kind of brilliant. I like it.
She didn't get picked by a loser, so she just had.
Oh, that's really sad.
No. Okay, here's an idea. It is an actual Lussus. It is just a rock, though. It is basically just a rock.
It's like a
It's a
stick bug, but
weird-
instead it pretends to be a rock.
But
It's like a Crustle from Pokemon.
yeah.
Dwebble even, yes.
Yeah, Dwebble Crustle. Yeah.
Crustle's a more like giant hunk of earth.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All right. Okay.
Sorry, I'm being pedantic.
You're being
When I think of
pedantic
rock-
here.
When I think of a
Rock
rock,
bug
I
Lussus.
think of.
It is a pet rock.
Whenever I think of Dwebble, I always think of the episode of Black and White where it's like Silence, like it just so happens that I'm an A-class connoisseur, and he like meets up with a girl who's like training to be a connoisseur, who like her entire backstory is that Silent insulted her. He's like, you're a disgrace to the name connoisseur. Now go wash your face and keep on practicing in like her flashback. And he's like, I said no such thing. That was close enough. And they have a Pokemon battle and he wins using Dwebble.
So, what about the others?
I feel like with Callie, I want to Dumbo octopus. Just like, because like purple bloods are like some purple bloods are like by the
They
shore.
live by the sea. Generally, is where they live.
Yeah.
It's usually by the. Basically, as far as I can tell, the further you are from fuchsia blood, the further inland you must go. Like fuchsia bloods live in like the fuchsia bloods live in like the fucking Mariana Trench. Violet bloods in the sea, purple bloods by the sea, and then lower you go, the further inland you get.
Yeah. So I was just thinking tiny ass octopus, like a Dumbo octopus or something, sounds like adorable.
Yeah, I'm thinking like she lives next to effectively an Alternian like coral reef almost. And that's where the Dumbo octopus kind of hangs out generally. Like near it, but not in it.
Lovely.
Yeah. Or whatever this planet's called.
After us.
After us.
After us. I love that.
Fuck it, yeah, that's where we are. Welcome to After Us, everybody. That's the name. Don't wear it out.
We live on through what comes after us.
It's the slogan. Anyway.
Losses for Vivian. I'm thinking.
Okay, what general vibe are we going for Vivian as a character? Because that I think we can inform the losses from. Like, are we thinking like full majestic, or are we thinking kind of like everything around her is full majestic and she's just kind of like the odd one out in it, or like what are we looking at here? What's our vibe? What's our bit?
I think okay. I'm trying to think. Give me a sec. Actually, do you mind if I just yeah, I'm just gonna be back in a second. I just need to quickly.
Alright, we'll come back. We'll come back to you. Right. What about this lot? Well, we'll skip August for now. What about the Hope Boys? What are we thinking for Perciv, for example?
I don't know, what's like a sort of knightly animal?
Well, other than the obvious horse, because I don't think we can do horse, given hoof beast stuff, Alternia / trolls in general. Horse is bad. So I don't think we can go with a horse. Or anything equine in general.
How about like a falcon?
Ooh, a falcon. Yeah, we could go with a falcon. Plus, as well, Perciv is going to have the same psionic ability that Arthur had, so because psionics seem to be something that exists the same across the ectobiological generational gap.
Yeah.
So, I think, yeah, Perciv would be able to fly at ludicrous speeds like Arthur can. So having a falcon that can actually keep up with him would actually kind of
that's awesome.
It would help to inform how Perciv is different as a character from Arthur, yeah. Because
now we just need to think
massively, the falcon, Perciv is flying with his Lussus.
Okay, I know what Xander should be. It should be one of those lizards that can like spurt blood from its eyes to match that to match Michael's psionics.
No. Because like the fucking the Triclops, the fucking cat thing, could also fire lasers from the 3 eyes.
Oh, okay.
Or from the 2 eyes on the
I was just like, what animal shoots lasers from its eyes? Wait.
Well, one of them shoots blood. Yes, I know. Michael should watch his dad bleed a lot. and like not in a dramatic way, just in a very dull, mundane. Oh, not again! It's on
Dad,
the fucking.
stop!
Dad, there is fucking. You've sprayed blood out your eyes onto the rug.
You're getting it
again.
everywhere. You're getting it fucking everywhere.
We just cleaned the sofa.
That was my favourite sofa.
Xmere, what are we thinking? Personally, I'm thinking maybe an orca-based one.
Ooh.
I'm thinking maybe an orca-based one. You like that idea, or any other suggestions?
I like that.
Alright. So, we got any ideas for August or for Vivian? Put down? Yeah, we did put down.
So I think Vivian tries to make everything glamorous.
I think here's a thought. Here's a thought.
Including the people like around her, like actively like being like, "Oh, you should wear this. It'll make you look better because I think it will."
Here's a thought. Does her particular tastes for what looks good differ significantly from Opal's? Because Opal's, it's all ostentatious gold and silver and jewels and glitter, and everything must be like, if your shoes don't cost 200 billion Alternia bucks to buy, they're not fucking worth it.
I think it's a lot more custom clothing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What kind of style are we thinking of going for with Vivian? Like what look generally? What's her aesthetic?
I think her aesthetic is. I'm trying to think. Like, there's a very like specific kind of thing I have in my brain. That it's very hard to like explain what it is.
To like
I'm gonna try
verbally
to articulate, yeah.
Articulate as best you can.
So there's like people on, especially on TikTok, who have this kind of like, they basically make TikToks where they make outfits based on like different things, and somehow they are like the most like dripped out. Like, I don't mean drip in the sense of like hyper expensive clothing. I mean like just the way that the
in like,
style.
holy shit, that looks incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
That kind of style of, you look like you just came off of like a movie set level stuff, but not necessarily ultra expensive.
Not always ultra expensive, but like, I mean, I think there's some of those people, they probably spend a lot of money on those clothes because
almost
of how like highly modular they are.
But like, that's what I mean by like, just like.
So Vivian has sort of like very much that sort of like very variable, customizable style. You know, kind of a look for every occasion kind of person.
Basically, like one, and also like just like clothes for all like different kinds of like subcultures, if that makes sense.
I think. Do we have like a main look that she'd kind of likely go for? Because like I do have to draw her. I can't draw 500 different outfits for her unless I want to completely burn myself out. We gotta have like a primary shtick with her to a certain extent. Like she can do other things, of course, but like.
I'm thinking maybe primary, something like similar to like
romantic goth.
If that makes sense.
Okay. So. Okay. But Alussus
is. It's probably ocean based, given the fact that.
Yeah, probably sea-based, or at the very least, somewhat sea-adjacent.
Let me think. Hold on. What is it called?
I'm looking to bioluminescent creatures because, like, I think that would be like the type.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now my brain kind of wants to go for like a sea butterfly.
We could go for a sea butterfly.
But like a giant sea butterfly.
Lusai have never been to scale. I mean, frankly,
Yeah.
Karkat's Lusas isn't even remotely similar to any actual creatures.
For context,
This is a sea butterfly. They are terrifying. They're minuscule. So if you take one of those and the way that hunts prey
Scale it up.
and make it massive, that's actually terrifying.
Jeez.
But could be seen as beautiful in a certain kind of way. To
Oh,
somebody
yeah, no,
who is
exactly.
Probably deeply deranged. So,
well, there's someone who doesn't know what they're capable of. Shoutouts to all the people who played Animal Crossing who thought, "Oh, that looks cute," and then looked it up for real and saw the video of them eating something.
yeah. I think more than likely Vivian is not around while Alyssa hunts.
Yeah.
Too busy putting together fire outfits.
Real. And August.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, August, we kind of had the idea of she had a very cutesy aesthetic, yeah?
Yes.
Like, very, very much like the kind of person where it's like you absolutely, just on first sight, look at them and go, oh, 90% of your bed is taken up by plushies.
Yes.
At minimum 90. Potentially, they are your mattress.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
So what works for that as a Lussus?
I was thinking a sheep.
Very soft. Very, yeah. Are we thinking like ram or like no horns, just like the...
A ewe.
I'll just put sheep then.
Yeah.
Very
If it was a
specifically,
ram, I'd
just one that
specify
is
a
just
ram,
like
but like smooth head,
EYE.
very fluffy. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, just incredibly
One of
honestly,
those, like,
at this
very
point,
Cartoon sheep.
almost
Screw
straight
it.
up, almost a Wooloo.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was thinking, Wooloo.
Yeah, fully. Well, I'm glad to see all three of us are on the same page here. I'm glad to see we can all agree on something very easily.
Not even just sheep, Lussus, Wooloo.
I'll put sheep Lussus and then just...
giant wooloo.
I believe that's how it's spelled, and I honestly don't really give a
Yes.
shit.
I think so. Yeah.
It is how it's spelled. Congratulations.
And now for
Wooloo
Michael's.
is the one Gen 8 Pokemon I actually like.
Sure.
That's fair. That's understandable.
I do not care for its evolution though.
Yeah, Dubwool's kind of cringe.
Should have had tartan. Should have had a tartan design. That would have been hilarious.
Understandable. Very fair. Michael's?
Michael. Rabbit.
Michael.
Okay, I was about to say, did you have an idea? And then I was like, no, I forgot.
Train losses.
It's just...
I said rabbit.
Michael, don't
I said
leave
rabbit.
me here.
yeah, rabbit.
It's a rabbit, but it's got 3 ears.
Sure,
in
yeah.
The middle? Fuck it.
Sure.
And whenever Michael leaves, I presume the cave because Jade Blood, it just
Yeah.
goes, Michael, don't leave me
don't leave me
here,
here,
Michael.
Don't leave me here, Michael. Don't leave me.
Michael,
It's the only Lusus
I can
that
hear the
confirm-
concept of
It is
time.
the only Lusus. It's the only Lusus that confirms speaks out loud before being put into a sprite.
Yep.
It is the only Lusus that can speak Alternian off rip, and all it can say is, Michael, don't leave me here, Michael.
In that
Michael."
voice.
Yes, of course, it has to have the Ringo Starr voice. This is a necessity. There is no other option. It must be so. Oh. So, we'll come back to the stuff we missed in a bit. We'll figure that out later. For now, we have psionics and other abilities.
Here we go. Here
Let's
we
just
go.
quickly put in some of the obvious ones that are... let's put in the psionic abilities that are absolutely 100% carried over.
Yeah.
Spiral I-beams. August... Did August have a psionic ability, or was it more like... oh, no, sorry. Julin. Did Julin have a psionic ability?
She had
or was
the
it like a...
she had the mass panic button.
And there was also like the high athletics and the double jump.
Well, those
Oh, yeah,
are
the-
skills. Those are skills learned.
Yeah.
I'll just put the basic version.
Yeah. I mean, we can always change it. She doesn't
A-Train.
have to like keep the same psionics.
Yeah. It's a bit more interesting that way.
Yeah, the psionics are just like... they carry over in a sense. I don't think Mimina had any. Lewis, minor mutation, gets cryokinesis instead.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we do change any of the psionics, they should be similar in a sense. They should have a connection to the original.
Well, I think for August, just an inverse then.
Oh, like an instant calm button.
Instant calm button / even like, because like panic is like an absolute like heightened like emotion, like drowsiness. I don't know.
I'm thinking probably just like mass Zen button, just straight up, just instant.
Instant move.
Yeah, very much. That's the sound you'd imagine for it. Of just like, oh, okay. Callie, do we want to keep the nightmare inducement from Cereza, or do we want to modify that a little bit? 'Cause
We can keep the
dream
nightmares.
inducement is just like, oh, it's just a dream that people have those.
Literally just puts forehead to other forehead. You are going to have a horrible night's sleep.
I think Callie keeping the nightmare inducement can make some sense, I think.
Yes.
Unless,
Unless?
we could make her effectively like able to effectively dreamwalk.
So
Just
that's
like,
basically
if
kind of
she's-
like... Because remember, the dreams of Spur, but like...
Oh yeah, well, yeah, never mind. That means basically diddly squat for the other characters. So yeah, I think nightmare inducement
Yeah.
staying the same.
She could be like the first of the group to like wake up on Prospect.
Yeah, maybe.
In addition to that,
Maybe.
Yeah, but that's not really necessarily an ability we put in. That's more a
Yeah.
plot point. Anyway, and I don't believe Vivian or Iridia had... I don't believe that Opal or Damasa had any psionics. Just
No,
skills.
they didn't. Yeah.
Well, that's the obvious out of the way. So, anyone got any ideas? I don't think we should give Exmir Ultra Instinct. I think we should leave that as just Nemona's thing.
No.
But maybe Exmir could have Kaioken.
Fuck it, we could give him basically a Kaioken type thing if we wanted. I don't know. We could do something with that. I don't know. We'll see.
My brain was just like Ultra Instinct. Just Ultra Trip.
The uncanny ability to trip.
The uncanny ability to
Ultra eat shit.
Yeah, I was saying ultra eat shit. Like, you can at will trip over and eat shit on the fucking pavement.
Obviously, joke. Do not add that in, please.
Well, of course. That's nothing. That's nothing.
The whole point was just to be funny.
Good. Obviously, I'm not putting it in, though, is the point.
Good.
So, do we have any other ideas currently? I'll flesh out the descriptions of these later, possibly off camera. We'll see. But we're just jotting down the notes for now. So, do we have any other ideas?
Oh my god. August just has like just little gaitus. So people just feel bad.
I'm just gonna put this in the 4th slot, which is usually for the silly stuff / flaws. Or the slightly sillier stuff. So
people feel bad. So just the imps feel bad for him, trying to attack her.
yeah. Just like, I'm just a little guy, you can't do this to me.
Too sleepy.
Oh, God. That's good. You know what, let's focus August for now instead of just bouncing around. Let's focus August's 4 pre-ascension abilities. What else can she do? Other than be sleepy. Other than being very EP.
Well, that's just little gaitus in general.
Yeah. What are her actual skills?
She just has one of those Sherlock mind palaces.
She doesn't use it very often.
So that she can
Have
the breaches of her Emersonian mind. So you go back to the club.
There we go. We got
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yes. Back to the club.
Go back to the club.
Fully insane. What's a 4th thing? Or I guess 3rd on the list. But what's her other ability? What else can she do?
Very good persuasion. Very persuasive. Manages to convince the imps that
No, could you do this instead of attacking me, please?
That kind of compounds with just a little gaitus. The just little gaitus stops them in their tracks, and then she's like, "How about?"
Could you just I don't know, give me a hot
Could you
chocolate or
just
something?
do this instead, please?
Could you maybe some s'mores or something?
Could you just
Be
fight
very
each other?
helpful, thank you.
I'll just fight each other and don't make me do it.
And there's just like wakes up after her nap and there's just a whole bunch of grist on the floor and a dramatically panting imp. Just like
What do I win? Throws pillow.
and the imp just and dies. No, she just goes, can you bring me like all of that grist over here? The imp does it and then she just whaps it with the fucking pillow and it dies. And then just sort of like lazily slaps all of the grist into her fucking grist cache. And then goes back to sleep. Oh, very nice. Very nice. So, who should we focus next? Want to go for Lewis, maybe, or someone else?
Yeah, is this right? So these are like, are these pre-god tier abilities or pre-like?
Yeah, pre-god tier.
Realizing
Pre-god
your aspect
tier,
abilities.
It's
'Cause there was-
pre-that.
Yeah.
Non-aspect stuff. It's stuff.
Okay,
that's not
non-aspect stuff.
directly
All right.
aspect related.
Well, in that case,
Do we want to come back to Lewis?
well, is the thing is all the stuff I came up with for Lewis was very aspecty. Besides like his basic like personality and like
That's fair
job,
enough.
I guess, which isn't really
okay.
ability adjacent.
We can circle back round to Lewis.
Yeah.
Okay. Who should we go for instead? We'll go for Iridia. I think first one. Pretty simple.
Yep.
She's a tinkerer. This makes sense.
I think so. Iridia has Tinkerer, has the ability to tinker around with stuff. How would that? What am I thinking? Like. Like she just like looks at a piece of machinery and just is like,
Well, it's clearly made by doing this, and this. Like, she just observes it in motion. It's just like,
ah.
I see you put the capacitors with the whatever.
Like basically, she can reverse blueprint stuff.
Yeah, blueprints here. She can look at a piece of machinery and just effectively fully piece together the blueprint in her mind if she can see every part of it.
Yeah.
It's like obviously if most of the machine is in a funny box that she can't look in. I mean, if she can't look in it, she can't fucking see what's going on. But if she can see machinery, she can easily piece together how it works and what each bit's doing.
She builds PCs on the regular.
Just because she like copies like the, she's like,
Yeah.
Easy copy schematics, yeah.
yeah. I'd like to say she.
I'm thinking name for an ability.
Resistant to hazardous materials was what I was gonna say.
What were you gonna say?
Resistant to hazardous materials. She's just like barely affected by radiation.
I'm gonna put it as tolerance, because it's like she's just sort of grown immune from exposure somehow. Don't ask me how. She just has. But yeah, with visionary, I'm thinking it's effectively she can very easily conceive of how to improve on a design or how something else can work in another design. She's very good at effectively bodging together ideas on the fly.
Yeah. Hang on a tick. Hang on.
What have you realised? What have you figured out?
Alex,
What
I've
have you
just
done?
realised what we've done.
What have we done?
It's a rock bug.
Lucis, so likes bugs, tinkers with things.
Oh, no, June. See, Mason, you don't understand this, and you, the audience, don't understand this, but me and June know what we've done right now. Is what it's very.
Seb, I'm so sorry.
I can't believe we stole that the whole fucking thing. Don't worry, it'll be very different once we get to God tier abilities.
Yeah, true.
Well, I have to make a reference to it somehow now.
Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. Do we have any ideas for Lewis now, or should we continue going on the girls?
We can. Mason, do you want to just round off the girls?
You continue. I'll sift through my notes to see if I had anything.
Cool.
Vivian time. What about her? What's her
time.
shtick? I think, first off, I'll put this here because it's just not exactly like combat useful information or like spurb useful information, but it's just like
Outfit master / creator.
yeah, I'll call it
She
outfit
makes
master because it's
clothes.
just like she can put together a fit from just raw materials, can make a fire ass fit. And if she's not working with raw materials, it's just a bit easier, mildly, in terms of time. In terms of time input, it's like she can make a fire ass fit from whatever for whatever occasion, for whatever aesthetic. Doesn't matter. She can make you look like a goddamn movie character.
Yeah. I think from that you can just extend like a full like eye for detail, like just even like the most minute like details of things. She's just incredibly good at picking up on.
I think another thing that is slightly aspect related, but it's not like a power gained through the aspect, it's just sort of like a thing that leads into the aspect. Incredibly strong sense of self.
Yeah.
Like Vivian, she knows who she is and what she's about. She knows her own shtick incredibly well. She knows who she is inside and out. Really intricately.
Yeah.
Vivian is the kind of person, if someone came up to her and went, "Oh, you're like this," she'd be able to factually say yes or no, with not a hint of uncertainty. It wouldn't even be a matter of like, "You're like this." No. Oh God, am I like that? Do I come across that way? What is it? It's just like, "Oh, you're like this." No, I'm not. You're lying. I've never done that in my life. Or, yes, I do that regularly. Or, I used to be like that, and now I am not. And what else? What kind of what's a more kind of out there thing I'm thinking maybe for her? Maybe a little odd, perhaps, or I don't know. is for
Sorry,
you know,
trying to think of just like what like out there kind of thing.
or like that's not fit related.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm trying to think of something particularly out there.
Just absolutely, like, completely flexible. Just like peak flexibility. Like somehow she like can like do some like octopus shit. Just like
Yeah.
wiggle away in like under a door or something.
Yeah, she can do some.
She can
weird
fit through any space smaller than her eyeball.
She just does the
Very
cave
strange
diver
considering
thing.
she has a full skull.
She just does the cave diver thing.
It's like the scene in fucking Catwoman where she squeezes through the bars.
She just does undersea caves. She just does undersea caves. Or above ground caves that have water in them. Or whatever. She just loves going into fucking crevasses. Canyons.
I assume you were aware of the
caverns,
cave diver
and
meme.
such. Oh, I am aware.
I'm not.
Mason, I'm on man.
Oh boy,
Hold on, let me get one of these.
June, get a cave diver meme for the boy.
Educate the boy.
Hold on.
In the meantime, I'm just gonna scroll up to Callie.
I found a compilation of them.
Yeah, you should only need to watch one and you'll get the picture.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just all in one shot. That's foul.
Well, while Mason has a look at that, June, Callie. We got 3 spaces for her. What's Callie's shtick? I don't think we've been over Callie's shtick.
Kelly's
What's her
shtick.
Okay, I get it.
He gets it. Callie.
You get it.
What's her vibe? What is she up? What's she all about?
I feel like her whole thing is like she's just kind of like, if she doesn't like you, she will actively let you know in like every way possible.
No uncertain terms.
No uncertain terms. If she doesn't like you, she fucking hates your ass. Born and bred hater.
You know what? That's going to be ability number 4, the sillier one.
That's where we get where you put all the clown rage.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, okay. Like, as with Vivian, but like a little bit aspect adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Very good judge of character in terms of, or like very good judge of, do you fit in this friend group? Do you work here? Do you go
Do
here?
you work? Do you go here? Exactly.
If not, get out. Group analyst.
Group analysis.
Um,
And then the other thing. What else? What other skills does she have?
I feel like. Yeah, I feel like something to do with. I don't know. Just like Sorry, I'm trying to think of
like things that'll fit into the story. Like good parts.
Personally, you know what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mages tend to have skills that are sort of adjacent to their aspect as well as in their aspect. So, take Solix and his skill with Tildath. I'm thinking Callie is good at what would be for humans effectively family history. For trolls, it would be like a different thing of like lineage analysis of like, oh, who lived in this area, who handed the keys to this place over to the next of their caste to come out of the brooding caverns and try and live here type thing.
Yeah.
And also very good at finding people's ancestors as well, or like finding which historical figure or character from the past is a person's ancestor, tracking the signs back through history, that sort of thing. So she's very, very mental on it, and also probably very mental in the other sense.
Just mental in general.
Mental in general, but also where Cereza was very much just the I'm angry and I'm going to hit you really hard. I'm pissed off about something and I'm going to hit you really, really hard with all of my blood. Instead, Callie is very much more the I'm reserved, I'm cool, oh, there's somebody I fucking hate.
Nice.
Very much stores up that aggression and just lets it all out at once rather than just constantly burning through it as it generates.
Yeah.
So, Lewis, do we have any ideas?
As I say, not so much abilities and more sort of like personality stuff, or like so by trade Lewis is a pest exterminator.
Okay.
So I don't know what kind. I don't want to say he's like a neat freak, but like
I'm thinking we take, because this is skills, this is abilities. I'm thinking we take from that basically. He is very good at killing things. You'd expect that of someone of a higher caste, frankly. That is kind of a skill you have to pick up.
Yeah.
You know?
Simultaneously, though.
Plus, we have seen how capable in combat Ceruleans can be.
Yeah. Simultaneously, though, you know how, like, your family will come around and you'll have, like, a little cousin and your parents will be like, oh, let them play with you. And you give them, like, a turned-off Nintendo DS to use as a controller. It's that kind of, detached indifference that Lewis kind of inspires in people. Like that is kind of how people treat him. They're like, it's like this sort of like when he's around, it's like an obligation to be like, okay, yeah, I guess we'll involve him, but we'll also not really put any effort into involving him. Just so that we can say to our Lussus that we've involved him. Yeah, pretty much.
That's all I'm gonna write. I'm not gonna add anything on that one. The fourth one is always gonna just read, who the fuck cares?
Yeah. And I think in particular when he does have to interact with people, like, he's good at kind of not really getting them to do what he wants, but kind of getting them to be like, sure, whatever. Like he'll be talking to them, they'll tune out like the specifics of what he's saying, and then they'll just be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
You know what, I'll just I'll swap that out for So
Yeah.
we can sort of consolidate those. I'm
Yeah, that's fair enough.
for Lewis. I mean, we could go for the obvious bit of high jump
Yeah.
if we wanted. He can jump just real high.
Because Luigi was always had like the sort of weird stuff, like how he does a backflip and then spins gracefully to the ground, or he has like the scuttle jump and like the ability to run on water temporarily. Because that's a thing.
Like
So
he's
I'd
got
say
cornstarch on
let's
his
call it
shoes.
weird acrobatics.
That's pretty much what I was thinking of calling it.
Like,
Just
not
like,
necessarily
he's
useful,
very
just
good,
weird.
But like, just why do you know how to do that specifically? When
Yeah.
has that helped you?
It's like
When
it's
has
like
that
Jello.
ever been helpful for you?
It's like Jello Apocalypse's pitch for Shaggy, like the running from a ghost, and he's like,
dear.
"Yo, pass
Not-
me those pumpkins." He starts
that
contact
guy.
juggling them.
Well, do we want to come back to Exmir, or do we want to try and figure out stuff for this guy who we have literally nothing for except for funny maid joke that I assume will, frankly, not be a joke and will in fact be the vast majority of his shtick.
I think he's like someone who's like incredibly competent, if that makes sense. So like, if he's given a task, he carries it out like to like near perfection.
I'm gonna just limit it to household stuff, just because again, haha maid. But also, you know,
Fair enough.
so
I
it's
mean,
not
I was trying to like.
so it's not just
So-
Exmir wins at everything.
So that you can indulge the haha maid angle that we were memeing on earlier.
And so that it is again not just a situation of Exmir wins at everything.
Are we gonna have a
So
Kaioken?
he has weaknesses. Fuck it. Do we want to give him the Kaioken?
Yeah, give him the Kaioken. That sounds funny.
Kaioken.
That's gonna look really funny amidst the list of things. It's like household competence, Kaioken. Wait a second, what?
Hang on a fucking tick. What the fuck?
Yep.
Throwing weapon
Throw weapon
proficiency.
proficiency.
That's perfect.
Throwing knives.
He's means he's also good at
his-
hosting
for
hive
his
parties
joke
because
ability
he's a
to
darts
go-
champion.
He's a dance.
Yeah.
And for the joke ability, I need to go back to the
To the maid. Highfold.
Had to correct
Yes,
it.
Thank you.
It's my bad. That's
My
my
fault.
bad.
Bro knows how to make an excellent cup of tea.
Actually, no, bro throws.
The best tea parties. Mr. T.
Mr. T. Mr. T.
I just
That's
think
so
I just
funny.
think it's funny, because like
I pity the fool
you
who
go
doesn't
from
keep
like
his
a
life
character
clean.
like Nimina, who's like so like self-serving.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Exmir here is very much wants to
Exmir
serve
is over
others.
here like dun 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 dun.
Hexmir is just like looking at all the other Violet Bloods who are doing regular Violet Blood shtick, and it's just like, damn, none of these fools know the pleasure of hosting a party and being the staff. This man would make Equius an incredibly confused person, like even more than he already very clearly is confused.
That's perfect. See, originally I was like, ah, haha, like,
purple blood is a maid. That's funny. And then I started thinking, wait a
Violet,
minute.
even more so. That's
Oh,
even
Violet
higher.
blood, sorry.
Violet blood. But then we started thinking,
Wait a minute. As I was saying, Nemono is incredibly self-serving. That's like his entire character arc is him like
Stopping doing that.
yes,
stopping doing that. And so we have a character now
who is
effectively going to be going through presumably the exact opposite arc.
where he needs to become a bit more selfish.
Yeah, focus a bit more on himself.
He's so selfless. Like I imagine he probably has good relations with all of the
Yeah.
people in this group, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And hey,
Probably
maybe
because he's
that
just running
can
around
play,
after them all.
yeah, and hey, maybe that can play into some other stuff down the line.
Indeed. But effectively, the two peerless kind of have to meet each other in the middle
Yes, exactly.
of like what their arcs are supposed to end with.
Yes.
All right, Perciv.
Perciv, I mean, impressive blade work, like flashy.
Oh yeah.
Almost.
Anime sword fighting.
Swashbuckler.
Yeah.
Very much the flashy, like, you know, mid sword fight, jumping up and grabbing a chandelier and swinging off of that chandelier. Or like doing unnecessarily flashy and almost anime-esque moves, like after image techniquing around, like going fast enough to after image around the opponent over and over again, while also approaching slowly in order to land an attack. Like the after images do nothing other than make him look cooler.
Okay, I have another idea. I have an idea for another one, but this is gonna kind of like reveal my hand on what I kind of think would be like a good little like thing for Perciv to go through, which is like, you know how like
That's fair enough.
so Arthur has like kind of like a like ego like thing with like god stuff
Yeah.
going on in his ancestor
Yeah.
basically treats him as a god and prays
So like how
to him.
Knights
That's-
tend to swear fealty, and
Yeah, that's
Perciv
what I was going to
Exactly.
suggest as well.
a knight as possible, and
I was
his
going to
king
And
suggest.
he literally draws
Yeah.
strength from his belief in his ancestor. So like
his ancestor post
Yeah, his
Scratch
ancestor,
Arthur.
his ancestor. So like praise to Pendra is what I was thinking.
Or whatever the. Do I actually have a working title for Ancestor Arthur? Because I think I wrote that down for fun once. But yeah, I was going to suggest a similar sort of like chivalry, like tragically, like Arthur is overcoming this this like fanatical devotion that he's experienced twice. Meanwhile, Perciv is perfectly happy to like serve someone, basically, have something
And
to fight for.
specifically serve Arthur as just like, I'm thinking very much an ability. I'll play a little bit of my hand right now. I'll reveal a little bit of my hand right now. First post-god tier ability I'm giving Perciv Pendra, Smite. It's just straight up Paladin Smite. It's pretty much spot on. And I think very much Perciv is in... If we were to think about these characters as TTRPG archetypes, I think Perciv being a paladin that has like an oath to his ancestor, effectively, is pretty much spot on for what I think works for this character. What I think works well for this character. And this last bit here is basically just, this is his oath.
Yeah. So the thing I've kind of realized now is with the two Hope Boys were kind of like playing off of the themes the originals had, which is
Yeah,
like,
and then making new stuff out of them. That's very much what the Scratch
so-
stuff tends to be.
I've come up with a.
with-
Sorry, I'll wait. I'll let you finish.
Thanks. So with Exmir, it is obviously a complete inversion of Numena's art, whereas with Perciv, I'm thinking it's more of a like playing around with the concept of Arthur dealing with his own like self-image of like him feeling like a god, if that makes sense.
And then, him feeling like a god, and then losing that, and then coming to terms with that, and then immediately after that being met with someone who thinks he's a god again.
Exactly.
And I've come up with
And
a
so he
name
has
for
this whole wobbliness.
I've come up with a name for
Yeah.
post Scratch Arthur.
Go for it.
The Luminary.
Genius.
The Luminary.
Yes.
Very much.
I agree with this one.
I'll also just
I
quickly...
agree, I agree with this one purely on the fact that it's very it very much reminds me of Dragon Quest XI.
Well, yeah.
I assume that's where you took the name from.
Well, I came up with it and I was like, oh wait, yeah, that's Dragon Quest.
But fuck
Well,
it,
no,
why
because
not?
it
If
fits
works.
perfectly because the Luminary is
Yeah.
It's almost like luminary is a word that anyone can use.
Yeah, because my immediate thought was Luminate, and I was like, wait a minute, Luminary.
Yeah, but also to draw parallels from Dragon Quest, the Luminary is a literal like religious figure.
Like in the myth, in the like version of the world that Dragon Quest XI is, being like someone who literally wields a sword of light and like inspires hope even in the darkest hour. So like, no, I think it's perfect.
And then they renamed him the Hero and put him in Smash.
Okay, but he is known as the Luminary as his solo.
He should have been
name
the
title.
Luminary. It's such a cool, it's such
Well,
a
no,
cooler
the
name
reason
than
it's,
the
the
Hero.
reason it's Hero is because
There's
it's
other
because
heroes.
of the other
Yeah, I
because of Solo.
Well, hey, you know, you get to play as
Eric,
Sword
and-
Goku in Smash now, so there you go.
Real.
Yeah, but his like solo title, sans being hero, is the Luminary.
God damn it! Because I thought it, but I wasn't going to say it.
No, sorry.
The way you made it sound like a fucking Samsung ringtone as well.
The intrusive thoughts one for a second there is what happened.
Oh god, I want to hear the da-da-da-da-da in the sans font, in the. I always said sans font, sans sound font.
Yeah.
Too many font jokes.
Yes. Let's get back to the page and put in the
Okay.
other ability. So he's got his low range telekinesis, which is basically, as I said, it's Arthur's massive power amp.
Make this man a
that he has,
brick shit house.
and the Oh, he's also just well, I think Arthur would also be absolutely ripped, yeah, but yeah, okay. So
Oh no, I
this guy is-
mean just like, not just ripped. I don't mean ripped like he's built. Like I mean like literally like hitting him is like hitting a brick wall. Like bro is just weirdly
Armor skin.
like just like almost like near bulletproof skin, if that makes sense.
You know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna. Oh shit! That's
Built Ford tough.
Why not? Fuck it.
But yeah, I think him just being a complete stone wall in terms of durability.
Yeah. This
So
man
he
is
can
a
be this.
fully a bulwark. Is like a swashbuckling bulwark is what we're thinking here.
God,
Like,
I
this
want to see a
man has-
Perciv Pendra fight scene.
This man has got defense, he's got offense, he's got mobility. This motherfucker can throw down like nobody's business.
I mean,
And
I mean, to parallel the Knight stuff even more, he's the anchor for hope in the session.
And I think also, basically, start of the session, only person who's going to be able to outright challenge Arthur in a fight, Perciv in a fight, Michael. Gotta be.
Yeah.
The only one who can obviously take him in a fight. Who knows what any of the others might be able to do. But I'm thinking Perciv and Michael are sparring, Reed having a pitch romance duel almost every other week, at least. Like, it's maybe to the point where some of the others are like, this is actually getting a little annoying now. They're the pitch equivalent of the couple that is constantly making out in public and like pushing each other and like messing around constantly. No matter
Constantly
the situation,
punching each other
no
in
matter
public.
who is around. It's like Michael and Perciv could be working to help Lewis move into his new hive, and they just straight up drop his TV to fight. And it's like, what are you doing?
Guys,
Why?
could you please help me keep moving into my house, into my home? Shut up, little brother. We're talking.
Shut up, little bro.
Shut up, little bro. We are having a fight. Stay out of this, man. And Lewis just sort of sits there on his front fucking doorstep, just like, God.
Like the Silver Campaign intro.
Yeah. He's just head in hands. I'll just call fucking Exmere. I'll just call Exmere. I should have called him to start with. Why did I even bother with these two? Meanwhile, in the background, there's just ding, ding, ding. Every so often there's a gunshot, a bullet
bang.
Yeah, gunshot and a bullet pinging off the shield. At a certain point, the two of them have just thrown their weapons to the side and are just bare knuckle boxing.
And then they start making out.
And now
I need to move Hive again.
Like, well, now I need to move Hive again. I've already made an enemy of the neighbors. Again. God damn it. Fuck's sake. It's just very annoying for him. Okay, and now we're up to Michael himself. Okay, so I'm thinking for Michael, one of his things, he's just like where Perciv is very much the kind of person who is like, go on, punch me in the chest, see what happens. You know, Michael is very much more the dodge tank. He is just like, I'm gonna dodge everything you throw at me, and then I'm gonna hit you really fucking hard. Like all of the points that Michael
Dodgeball champ.
All of the points that Michael has taken out of defense, he has put them all into mobility and attack. Like basically, monk. Where Perciv is the paladin, Michael's the monk.
Or even the barbarian.
Well, no, because barbarians are also very physically tanky. They don't dodge a huge amount. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Also, monks are faster
Yeah, true.
and more built for dex. Although,
Of course.
definitely did take a level in barbarian for rage, just to hit even harder.
Yeah.
Rage Junior.
Rage Junior.
I miss the rage. I miss the rage. Oh.
Okay, what else?
I miss the rage. Sorry. Let's stop now.
We were all thinking it.
Yeah. What else? What else for Michael?
Spiral eye beams, hyper offense. Erratic?
Yeah, like very unpredictable movements. I think that works.
Kind of like how, like, rage in and of itself is like in like a kind
It's
of
very
like
chaotic.
explosive.
Yeah.
It's a
Like,
very chaotic aspect. It's something that
He
doesn't
kind
really...
of embodies his
Predicting
aspects.
rage is
Quite a
very
bit.
difficult.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
think I'll change hyper offense to hyper mobile. Man's just very fast. He's gonna get that hit.
Not to be confused with hypermobility, right?
Yeah. That would be labeled differently. You know
Yeah.
what? I'll just switch out hyper for ultra.
Ultra mobile. It'll probably be the best way so people don't get
Ultra
confused.
mobile.
That's
That's
all
my-
I'm thinking.
That's my favourite. Never mind. I couldn't think of a way to articulate it. It was going to be a joke
Yeah,
about
my
like,
favourite.
it's a type of mobile phone provider, ultra mobile. This is the energy that we started with is sort of diminished a bit.
meanwhile,
It's
I feel like I've hit
starting to
my
sputter.
stride now.
Yeah, it's starting to sputter a little in nascent, but that's fine. We can pick up. What else?
I
what
think
else for Michael? I think, okay, here's an idea. I think Michael and Perciv are very much two people. I compared it to Sonic and Shadow. I think to a certain extent Sonic and Knuckles might be a better comparison. Of like, the two of them are very much, they fit to different strengths. So I think I'll put... Where
All three of them.
Where Perciv is very flashy and just like unnecessarily flashy and like I'm showing off as much as possible. Michael is, okay, I'm in a fight. I'm going to end this fight as fast as possible. With the exception of when he's fighting Perciv for obvious reasons. But he is, like, when he's in a genuine, okay, I need to eliminate a threat fight, he's the kind of person, you know that scene in Indiana Jones where you've got the guys flipping the sword around all the time? And
Yes,
Indiana Jones
yes.
shoots the guy
I know
in the
exactly
face?
what you're talking about.
Michael is Indiana Jones in that scene. Except he doesn't wait for the guy to be flipping the sword around. He just the sword comes out, bang.
He also doesn't have a cold.
He also doesn't have a cold. I mean, he might. You never know. You know,
Yeah, we'll get those
disease,
days.
hell of a thing. It can happen to anybody.
I mean, Harrison Ford got that day, and that's how it spawned that scene.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back down the line for the god tier and aspect based abilities. So I think real quick.
Oh, of course.
Enhanced eye beams, as was the case with his Downcester. He can also channel rage into his eye in order to speed up the revolution and amp up his eye beams so they turn fully purple. Okay, here's an idea that I think I'm gonna put the bottom here as like this is one of their most powerful abilities. This is going to, I think, be something of that Michael and Perciv both share in their own way. Effectively, it's not a full transformation, but it's basically they just sort of like
Lock in.
use their rage/hope to amp up their abilities, and it is kind of like an almost Kaioken type thing. Like,
yeah. I was thinking along those lines. Yeah.
It's very much.
And I'll be honest. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why I was thinking of along those lines?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of Michael, and I was thinking, you won't die, you won't die, you won't die, you won't die.
Yeah. But the battle
Obviously
focus
not
form,
specifically that, but along those lines.
yeah, that's the thing. The battle focus form, it doesn't even them out. I think with the battle focus form, Michael and Perciv will very much lean into their fighting styles. So Michael under battle focus, it won't make him a huge amount more defensive. Well, it will amp his defense a good bit, but the thing it will really amp up, speed and attack power to an insane degree. He will be able to hit like a fucking truck and move like a fucking bullet train. He'll move like a bullet train and hit about as hard. It is a huge boost to those stats. And then for Perciv, it would very much be like a bullet train could hit him and he could just stand there and the train would just crumple up like an empty tin can.
End of the line.
Yeah.
The Omni-Man fatality.
He can do the Omni-Man fatality, except he's Omni-Man in the situation.
If he had the Omni-Man fatality done on him, he would survive.
He would just stand there and be like, and? Got anything better?
He mimics a
Try
fraction of our
again.
power.
Try again, dickhead. Okay, what else works? I think... Rage Infusion, it would basically be... This is also sort of a thing of, like... I think, in terms of God tier abilities, Michael and Perciv will be relatively similar.
Yeah.
Because Rage Infusion and Hope Infusion, that's just gonna be their smite. It's just gonna... Their weapon becomes stronger, and the battle focus is effectively, like... just like the... ultimate evolution of Rage Infusion and Hope Infusion, where they just infuse all of themselves with it. What else? Basically, you know the fucking Sun Tzu Art of War?
Yes.
Sun Tzu Art of War, if your opponent is of choleric temperament, seek to irritate him. And basically, like, if your opponent is easily pissed off, piss him off and he'll be a little fucking baby about it. Michael can do that with ease. He can basically just snap his fingers at somebody and piss them off a bit more.
Yeah. And force them to basically
if that person's not rage bound, they're not going to be as good at utilizing that as Michael is, or as say Xander or any other rage bound is. They're not going to be able to draw a lot of power from it. They're just going to throw a fucking tantrum. And when a non-rage bound is just throwing a tantrum, that's typically easier to hit them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? If you're utilizing rage to amp yourself up and become more unpredictable, that's one thing. If you are just pissed off, butthurt, angry, that is a lot different. That is way easier to exploit, which is exactly what a Knight of Rage is built to do.
Nice.
Alright. August. Her
August.
god tier aspect abilities.
So
So, top
I'm
2
thinking
abilities.
this is like a defensive ability, but essentially Mirage clones, if that makes sense. So they can't do anything.
So basically mirror image. Effectively, I'm thinking like the mirror image spell D&D.
Yeah, mirror image, but like it's not just centered on the self. It can also be just a like they're just spread around.
I'll call it mirror image because it's basically the same thing. I think as well,
Yeah. Or mirage
similar
image.
to that. Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking as well, another defensive ability she'd have. Basically, basic, like, light shields, effectively. Like, she can manipulate light, kind of like Julian can. So she can make basic stuff like shields and stuff like that. Nothing ultra complex like a full-on construct, but like the basics.
Yeah.
Instead of a hard light construct, it's a soft light construct.
Yeah. Does that mean
I'll just put
since
light
she can make a shield? Does that mean she can do like the that thing I've seen from like that one clip of like Steven Universe where she just like covers her hands in light and basically turns them into boxing gloves if she wanted?
Maybe, but it would probably be like the extent of that ability. That would be the highest level of that ability. The most complex that ability can get. Of course, it can get higher by just making them fucking stronger.
I don't know why, but when you put light shield, my mind immediately went to the Dead Man's Volley from Ocarina of Time, where you play tennis with Ganondorf. I don't know why.
Bottle guys.
Weird, that. Right, should we come back to her when we've got other stuff?
Yeah.
We'll come back to this. Alright, so,
This should be filling.
enhanced telekinesis.
Battle focus and hope infusing.
Yep, pretty simple, pretty similar.
Seek
Okay,
to
I think-
inspire.
Yeah, where basically Michael is good at debuffing an opponent's side. Perciv is
Pendra's-
very much, again,
sorry.
the Perciv is very much the it's very much the I'm going to make an inspiring speech and rally the troops and we're going to march on the enemy castle. And you know, very much
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Very, very paladin-esque, you know?
Yeah.
Very paladin-y.
Yeah.
So, Maid of Hope, I think first obvious one.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
very simple. What else do we think for Maid of Hope?
I think.
Because what are maids, but like
Hold on. Like, how would we go about maids?
I'm
I mean,
thinking
you could word these more like more protectively, maybe.
I am thinking basically instead of where Perciv is very good at I'm gonna make a big speech and inspire the troops and or like effectively amp a bunch of people and make or one person and make them very ready to fight. Fucking Xmit can fully focus one person, and they can go from the depths of defeatism and depression to fully believing, oh shit, we are gonna win this. It's not even we can win. It is like, I don't give a fuck about the circumstances. We are gonna win, and I'm gonna make it fucking happen because I can do this.
Nice.
You know, basically, temporarily. Basically, temporarily. Did you have effectively depression? Yeah. For however long this amp is gonna last. No, the fuck you don't. You have anti-depression. You have the exact opposite. Debatably a manic episode. But, like, somewhat directed.
Yeah.
Maybe not good for you in the long run, but at the very least it can get this job done right now. What else? So what are you going to suggest, Jim? So, defensive stuff.
Yeah, just kind of like
Pardon me.
Because, like, if you think about it, like, of, like, the made stuff that we've seen, like, if I'm remembering correctly, like,
I'm just going to also put in...
Like, it seems to be, like, stuff that protects people, if I'm understanding correctly. Like Aradia went god tier.
And immediately
To,
made time for people by freezing back in place, yeah.
Exactly.
So I think it's very much like, again, creating hope. I think Super Kaioken, it's just like, it's a thing that stacks on top of Kaioken. It's kind of Xmir's equivalent of Sun Form, but it's not quite the same. It doesn't involve tearing himself apart as much, but it's very much more, it's the opposite in the fact that it is basically, I think he
can only attain. I think he can only attain that once he realizes that he can't just serve others. He needs to.
I'm thinking basically an armor of hope that can. This is a transferable thing because it's pure, just like you are borderline invulnerable. It doesn't give you a humongous amp in terms of power. It is just like defense stacked on defense, stacked on defense, stacked on defense, stacked on defense. And I think part of the arc with Xmir is basically just like not learning to effectively trust themselves to wear it to a certain extent. Trust themselves to take the mantle and not just put it on usually one of the knights.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
and I think for the third ability, this could be maybe something we could like change, but like I think
Actually, I've got an idea. Armor of Hope is maybe not invulnerability, but it's a hyper stack defense. But the thing that really changes it is another transformation state of basically Made of Hope effectively generate an angel and be it to a certain extent, because angels are,
Like a
Mason,
guardian
the
angel.
things. Pardon?
Like a guardian angel.
Kind of, but it's basically like, effectively, it is a, maybe not a full transformation, but like a pseudo transformation.
Yeah.
Of basically, it is a matter of, it is something that Xmir can only make it to protect himself. He can't put it on other people. It is like, you make this to guard you. It's not transferable. And in the course of becoming more selfish, being less selfless and self-sacrificing, Exmir learns to eventually use this ability.
What were you going to liken it to for my sake?
I wasn't going to liken it to something. I was basically going to reference, in Game Over when Jake's ascending and all those fucking things are flying out, those are angels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or for you, June, the creatures that were on Eridan's planet. That he kept fucking murdering. Because Prince of Hope, Destroyer of Hope, kills angels.
Yeah.
So, Lewis.
Here we go. Okay, right. So
You've got powers.
So, the power that I wanted Lewis to have, which is like a pre-God tier thing, is, and I laboured over this one because I didn't want it to seem too seer-like, was, and I think I have told you about this before, it's the ability to witness the events of timelines as they happen analogous to his own. Like, so he can see he can't see the future or the past. He can see the present in other timelines. Which would include the pre-scratch timeline.
Yeah. And I think as a thief, maybe also reach across the veil and just nick things.
Well, that would become amplified in God tier with his ability to, not do more than just steal,
I think
but also.
With, it would probably just be seeing the pre-scratch timeline because of mass and
yes,
and that just straight up creates a connection. It's
yeah. Anything else I can think of would probably be God tier.
I mean, this works for God tier stuff. This is where God tier stuff would go as well.
Yeah. Because obviously when you have a time related character, your immediate thought process, if you're me, is to march on over to good old JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I was thinking about the various time stands in JoJo, and I was thinking, what class would they fit best? Which one would best fit a thief? Now, there's two major candidates in that ballpark, which would be the World and King Crimson. But I feel like King Crimson would be more Prince, because that one directly destroys time. So, if Lewis were to have a Thief of Time ability in that ballpark, it would be the ability to stop time, and he's the only one who can act in the frozen time. Very typical. And it was kind of funny, you mentioned Aradi a moment ago, freezing Jack in time for the benefit of everyone else. It's very much the opposite with Lewis, where, like, everything around him stops, and he, like, has a little bit of time to make his own moves. Because he is stealing the ability for others to act.
If I could save time in a bottle.
Here's my thought. What if he can just take time from other people? So effectively, steal time from somebody and either age them or reduce their natural lifespan, or de-age them by taking time from their past, and then he can use that as fuel for his own time travel.
That's what I was going to suggest. I was going to suggest that being a higher level ability, because that's pretty metal, being able to like rapidly age someone.
I think, frankly, that's very much like the basic form of what a thief of.
Fair enough, yeah. I just didn't want to spam that ability. Is more my mindset.
I think here's the thing. It's like a lot of the things in Spurb don't seem to have natural lifespans, so he can't. So unless he's like de-aging them, which I think would probably be the harder ability, rather than just skimming off the top of their lifespan, digging deep and taking the past away. But basically, he would basically be able to take... Presumably, when he first descends, he'd only be able to take so much at once.
Yeah.
You know, so he'd have to spend a lot of time and focus to take a huge amount of time from somebody, to the point where it's like, oh, I'm farming you for free XP, effectively. He'd have to spend a lot of time and focus on it. But he could take maybe 1 year per second off of somebody's lifespan, and then be able to use... Or, like, maybe over the course of, like, 10 seconds, he could take a year off somebody's lifespan, and then now he has a year's worth of time hopping that he can... A year's worth of time that he can travel aberrantly through, including stopping time, a bit more advanced, stopping time for a certain amount of time, using up 1 second per second of stop time.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a very simple name.
Yep.
Very
basic
ability.
And then obviously an amplification of the Elseworld viewer is being able to break in to other timelines like a thief. And like go to different parallel universes and stuff like that.
I think that's... Yeah, is that all we want to...
That'll do for now.
That'll do for now. Alright. We'll come back to that later. So, Callie. Ascended abilities for Callie.
Mage of Blood.
That's the difficult thing with mages. When it comes to their post-ascension abilities, they're incredibly wide open, because mages don't really have a specific combat application of like, oh, this is a specific thing you can do.
The mage is a form of knowledge class, isn't it?
It is, but basically the issue is that with the mages, as I've said before, at least this is how we've kind of treated them up until now, mages just have a supernatural understanding of their aspect. So as opposed to seers, they don't necessarily get visions unless they are incredibly psionically potent. So they're very much... Mages in a fight are very much all-rounders. They can they can kind of do anything other than class-specific abilities of like fully destroying the aspect, or fully turning into the aspect, or fully creating the aspect. They can kind of just... They very much mill around in the you can kind of do whatever area. Unless there's specific synergy, yeah.
When I saw Mage of Blood, my immediate thought was bloodbending. Which...
Yeah, but you remember, it's not literal blood.
Yeah.
Well, it can be literal blood. Aspects can come in both metaphorical and literal forms. For example, John controlling the wind. But that's the thing. John is an air, a controller class. Mages don't directly control their aspect and change the flow of it. A witch, or maybe an air might be able to effectively bloodbend themselves. However that would work. But like, effectively weirdly puppeteer themselves, that's very bad. Horrible. Sad for heirs of bloods. Yeah. If you're an heir of blood out there, I'm so sorry. But a witch of blood, I think, would be very much that makes bloodbender type. Again, mage, it's basically like, so long as you're not absolutely very clearly doing the thing another class is supposed to do, to the extent that class is supposed to do it. Again, an all-rounder. Like, a mage would maybe be able to change the flow of blood in somebody else's body and effectively, like, temporarily cut off blood flow to that area, or something like that. But it's like...
I think I want to more focus on
very all-rounder.
The more abstract.
Yes.
Yeah. I think very much focusing on the abstract is very good with mages. That's very much where they work best.
I think, at least to my understanding of mage, it's not that they can like manipulate the aspect, but more so they use the knowledge of the aspect as their weapon against other people. Not like a literal weapon, but like
I mean,
the knowledge.
They could. A mage of blood could be able to innately understand where someone's blood vessels and most vital arteries are, and be like, okay, weak point, weak point, weak point. So basically,
Okay, I mean,
a mage of blood would be able to innately comprehend the weak points of an opponent, particularly where they're going to bleed the most.
weak point exposure then.
While you sort of like, I think for a second I'm just gonna take a quick break, get a bit of water or something like that, and then I'm just gonna leave you two to discuss for a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, be back in a minute. I have returned.
We didn't really make any progress in your absence.
We didn't make
Oh,
any
well.
progress. We really just kind of complained about like how the two like blood characters in Spurb don't do much.
Yeah. It is
So
a
it's
similar
incredibly hard
problem.
to
It's kind of a similar thing to what Rage has as an issue, and Doom.
Yeah.
In fact, those three and Mind, basically all of the ones that don't have a human player, there's not a huge amount we know about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least with Terezi,
Kind of working from the
kind
seat of our pants.
At
Yeah,
least with Terezi,
Mind has it the easiest of the four.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think blood is the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rage, at least you get the basic gist of you get angry and hit things. Very
Doom
reductive, but it is... Yeah.
Doom isn't that hard to understand because you can kind of look at it in the sense of
A Mage of Blood is probably one of the hardest class specs to come up with abilities for. Because we don't know what mages do to in terms of god tier power to any real extent either. Considering there's no god tier mages that ever appear in the comic and do anything significant. Although Doom does have the issue of, you know, trying to figure out an ability to give them that isn't, well, they die. They just fucking die the end. Or that doesn't result in, well, they just fucking
like
die
Solix
the end.
Solix could hear like the dead, couldn't he, or some shit like that?
Yeah, he got psionic hallucinations of the soon-to-be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know. Point is, it's very difficult to come up with stuff in God tier that isn't just they die or they hallucinate other people die, or they die or other people die, or it's very difficult to come up with anything creative that isn't just and then people keel over.
Yeah. I wish there was like an official like thing like laying out like the ground rules of what is what.
Yeah, honestly. I think a Spurb user's guide of some description would be useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, this is what mages tend to be able to do in God tier and pre-God tier. You know, here's a synopsis of what those guys can do, and here's what you know, blood can typically do, and what its connotations are directly, and all these things. I don't know. Make things a bit clearer.
Yeah.
But anyway,
The most I can understand, I've done. I tried to dig up a little bit of information on mages. And the most it is just like, you know, using their knowledge about the aspect, like, as their like way of manipulating things.
yeah.
So like in Solix, it's not just the psionic visions, but also like the virus he makes.
Yeah, it's that, and it's you know, being able to use those visions to advise people against courses of action that would get them killed. But
So in a way, I guess Callie would have like the ability to like view like the way that like certain bonds would interact based on certain things.
So kind of like an amplification of the group analyzer ability.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kind of like a super analysis.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe through effectively observing a bond, Callie can get an incredibly detailed view of the relationship between the two people involved, and can, you know, see all of its strengths and weaknesses.
I'm thinking maybe the ability to like use that knowledge.
Okay. I think to an extent, I think utilizing blood in its sense of responsibility, Callie can effectively enhance, I'm thinking effectively use blood in its sense of being being something of an opposite to breath, perhaps, and effectively Callie can physically manifest a person's responsibilities in a sense, or like effectively give those responsibilities a physical weight to a certain extent and hold someone down, like ground them. Yeah, I'll just call that weight of the world. Because I mean, I want to give mages some kind of a thing that they can do. I want to try and give the god tier mages things that they can do that aren't just like, well, I figured something out. Don't do that.
What did we have for Arthur and Xander?
Well, that's the thing. With Arthur and Xander, quite frankly, for a good amount of it, with Xander, his thing was it was using the fact that he's a mage and his pre-existing mimicry ability to effectively enhance his mimicry. Use his understanding to enhance his ability to copy people, because it's better to you're going to be better at copying people if you understand them.
I suppose in a way, Weight of the World is a version of like enhancing nightmare inducement.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
It makes the nightmares real.
It makes the nightmares real, or rather gives the, you know, or more to the point, it makes more.
It gives power really, to the nightmares.
Yeah, it's not really an enhancement of nightmare inducement directly, but actually, that's that could be maybe an idea. How about this? This is maybe a bit out there, but I'm gonna go ahead with it. She can effectively funnel the nightmares of a bunch of people connected to a person into that person.
Huh.
And basically just like, oh, you think your nightmares are bad? Fuck you. Here's you and all of your friends' nightmares all at once. Here's everything everyone you've ever loved is scared of. So more than likely,
let's go down the line. What's everybody scared of?
So probably to a certain extent, if it's a very tightly knit group, hey, all of you, how about you have a look at all of your corpses in your other friends' nightmares? Your friends are scared of you dying. Now watch it happen over and over again in all of the worst ways for them. It's
Damn.
maybe a bit out there, but it's honestly the best idea I've got.
That's pretty hard.
It's pretty hardcore, to be fair.
Yeah.
All right, Vivian. This one's very easy, or at least easy to start with. Go Ghost.
And I suppose as an heir of heart, she like embodies the aspect. So like, so heart is very much like, whereas blood is the bonds, heart is the
Soul and emotion is generally
soul
what it is.
and emotions. So this
It's the vibe scepter.
No.
No, Mason.
I'm sorry.
What have you done? What have you done? Anyway, but I mean, bastard.
Well, I was gonna literally say soul reading.
Ooh.
Honestly, that seems more like a Mage of Heart thing. Honestly,
Okay, fair enough. Like,
I'm thinking,
I guess soul manipulation.
yeah, to a certain. I think.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, soul manipulation is very much like in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Here's the thing. I think the difference between heirs and witches is witches usually end up having an ability, usually not directly tied into their aspect, but still within it to a certain extent, that breaks the rules, so to speak. For example, Jade, it's not an aspect ability, but she can teleport. Pfeffery, it's not an ability she gains directly from her aspect, but she had the horror terrors make the afterlife,
Yeah.
breaking the rules of life and death. So, a Witch of Heart, like a certain someone we know, would be able to break the rules, completely, change how heart works to a certain extent for herself. And I think I've got an idea for that, but I won't play my hand just yet on it, because she's not on this page, frankly.
Yeah.
But effectively, an heir works more within the rules, It doesn't break the rules of breath to make a tornado happen, for example. So, Vivian would very much be messing with souls, but playing within the rules of how they work to a certain extent.
Yeah.
She wouldn't necessarily be able to raise a fucking ghost army, but she could, if there was a ghost on hand, she could make it do stuff.
Yeah, like soul
Stando power.
puppeteering then, would it be? Instead?
No, I think manipulation is probably, or I'll call it soul directing.
Soul directing. Okay. And then...
So that way it's like, she can't fully just raise them from the fucking dead, just fully transpose them from the dream bubbles to where she is. But if there is a ghost wandering around like, say, Aradia was when she was introduced, she can sort of just make that ghost do whatever.
I think for a transformation-esque ability, as an heir, pure,
We've
raw,
got Ghost.
unfiltered self.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
We've got Go Ghost. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
It's fully, she just decorporealizes her body and just becomes just her soul. Which would, of course, be able to do all manner of ghosty things, and presumably also, I think also, emotional manipulation. She can just make you happy, make you sad, mess with your emotions.
Make you
As
feel
she
things
sees
you didn't
them.
realize you
As-
wanted to feel.
Yeah, or make you feel things that you absolutely, definitely did not want to feel. You know? You're an enemy general going up against Vivian. Nah, you've actually entered a horrific burnt out slump and you are so depressed you can't fight on now. You just don't have the fight in you. You're so tired.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I want to go home, man. I don't even want to be here, man. I want to go home.
I wanna go home.
I want to see my
man.
wife and
Just let me
kids,
go
man.
home, man.
I didn't even know I had a wife and kids, but I want to go see
I'm not
them.
even supposed to be here.
I'm not even supposed to be here, man. But yeah,
Who am I?
who am I?
She could make you see that gruesome image.
No, but she can make you feel like you have.
I suppose.
So Go-Go's got soul directing, emotional manipulation.
I can hear a cat in the background.
Me too. I've been hearing it for a while.
Yeah, it's probably Jack. He's probably just screaming again. He does it a lot.
What's new?
But I cannot let him in here because he eats cables.
Oof.
Bro looks at
Cables and goes, thank you for the splendiferous
boy dinner.
meal, good sir.
Boy dinner!
I've been waiting to use that one.
You've been waiting on that one. That's been cooking for a while, appropriately enough. Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Boy
okay.
dinner.
What else? What else can Vivian do?
I suppose.
No, I don't think I've got anything else on here that's gonna help.
Oh.
So,
Come on.
what?
Oh, my brain just immediately just started playing that song that just goes, love me, say that you love me.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
I mean,
Basically.
Ugh.
Just make minions out of people.
yeah.
Soul domination or some shit.
Damn, there's people who pay for that shit.
Dominate person, you know? That's like her ultimate ability. She can only use that like so much.
Mason's internet has decided to fuck off. Well, we'll get him back in a minute. In the meantime, Iridia.
It's just.
Iridia, yes.
Iridia.
So, space.
I think, first off,
Come on then.
Farsia. She would basically have a similar ability to Lewis, funnily enough. Basically, she can see anywhere spatially
What?
in the present. But instead of it being in alternate timelines, it's only in this timeline. It's just like... It's basically where Lewis can see into other timelines in this space.
Oh, Jesus.
Hello, Mason.
Okay. It sounds like I'm back.
You are back.
Okay, yeah. Internet just decided to have a aneurysm, but my recording didn't stop, so you'll just have to like cut out my little what the fucks in the meantime.
That's good. So, basically, we've decided for Iridia. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you were here for this. Last ability for Vivian is Soul Domination, to which I said there's people out there that would pay for that. Basically,
Yeah.
she can just make minions out of people. She can just make people... I think, instead of completely overriding their emotions, it would basically be like she can just spontaneously make the weak-willed obsessed with her and willing to do whatever the fuck she wants.
Exactly.
Less domination and more effectively you are now a thrall. Or you're
Okay.
like a,
So,
you're like a
soul
ghoul
thrall.
almost. Yeah.
Soul Thrall.
Soul Thrall.
But yes, and then for Iridia, first ability I've given her is Farseer. she can see anywhere in the present in a different place. So instead of it being alternate timelines, it's alternate locations.
Yeah.
And then if she's working together with Lewis, they could see in alternate locations in other timelines.
Yeah.
If they're working together on it, yeah. So, Farseer, pretty obvious.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think how seers work. So
I think it's very much like seers. With seers, the difference between them and mages, it's seers gain knowledge through their aspect, but must interpret it themselves, where a mage must gain knowledge for themselves, but can interpret it magically through their aspect.
right.
So I think
So then-
for her, I'm going to call this Flash of...
Flash of
Genius.
We are fully going artificer on this.
Yeah. Basically, instead of, just being able to see a part and be like, oh, how would that work? She could basically think, how would I make something that does this? And just boom, schematics in her mind. She just has to figure out how to fucking build the thing.
Nice.
Yeah. I think another one would be spatial awareness, if that makes sense. So, like, she can, like, fully, like, she'll be like, well, she can, like, receive the information on all of, like, what's going on in the space around her. But then she needs to figure out, well, if all this is happening,
What do I do
Tell
there?
you
What do I do
what,
with that?
yeah.
Basically, she effectively has a vision, vision cone of 360 degrees.
Yes.
She can
Spidey
see
sense.
fucking... Yeah, she kind of... It's effectively Spidey Sense, but it's a matter of, like... It's like a nerfed Spidey Sense, because Spidey Sense also tells Spider-Man how to fix the problem. Where
Oh, God.
for Iridia, it's more a matter of, well, I'm in this problem. I now know about the problem. Now what? And I think seers also tend to have, like, some general, kind of like mages, some general abilities with space. Some, all-rounder type stuff when it comes to attacks, effectively. See Rose just being able to, create light slashes in the final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Spatial rand.
Zahando.
No, that's more a
Zahand.
destroyer thing.
Zahando's more Prince.
Yeah, I think because that's the thing with space, it's creation, it's distance as well. So I think effectively,
Well, I was going to suggest like a force push.
yeah,
Before I jokingly said spatial rand.
yeah, I'm
The
gonna
Force.
just
Push and pull.
yeah, she can basically generate or remove distance between herself and a thing.
Yeah.
Alright.
Nice.
All
Is
right,
that everything then?
that's all of the psionics and abilities and stuff. But we do have synopses, additional information, stuff like that to add.
Yeah.
And I think we should also come up with names for all of the ancestors, or titles for all of the ancestors. Don't want Arthur
Yes.
getting too big for his boots, being the only one with it.
Well,
And then
I
we can-
do.
We can come up with troll tags and stuff like that later, if that's okay.
Yeah. We'll
I did
come up with-
want to pose my troll tag for Lewis though.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Now, as we know, Masson's is Flaming Daredevil, which is F is 6 and D is 4. I wanted to do something similar with Lewis, so I chose 83, the year of Luigi, which would be HC. So it is Heart of Cold.
Yeah, nice little, nice little sort of mix up of the system a little bit. I like it.
Yeah, and a little pun as well.
Because of the cryokinesis. Very clever.
But I also do have some suggestions for ancestor names. Just a couple.
All right. Let's quickly get those in.
So for Xander, there were two that I had.
Okay. I've got
The
some
Gar-
ideas of my own, but we'll have a listen to
Okay.
that.
First one,
Go on.
the Guardian,
Mhm.
and second one, the Overseer.
The Overseer. I like the Overseer as a title. See,
I
here's the
jokingly
idea.
said the father, but that's just me.
Yeah, here's the
It's
idea
good, but
I
it
have.
does have to be 8 though.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, all
I
the
think that
all
was-
the ancestor
yeah.
titles are 8, except for the Grand High Blood for some reason.
Yeah, the Grand High Blood is.
Just built different, I
The
guess.
Grand High Blood gets to be silly with it, because he is the Grand High Blood. I guess.
Yeah.
I think.
suppose.
But you are allowed to use typing quirks to cheat.
Yeah, you can cheat with a typing quirk. I think here's the thing. The thing I had in mind for post-scratch Xander is effectively he becomes the equivalent of a therapist, effectively. Which, you know, it's very much like he attempts to help trolls in this universe function better. Although I think to a certain extent it would be interesting to see a version of Alternia or Troll Planet generally, after us in this case, being effectively like not obviously hyper cruel, fuck you, get in the battery pod, but like their form of therapy wouldn't be like, let's unpack your issues and make you a bit more secure as a person, and a bit more like, let's unpack your issues and see how we can allow you to channel them to be better at war. To a certain extent. So I think the Overseer works really well for that. And also it's kind of a little bit of a pun as well. Of like seer, mage, haha.
Also, he has 3 eyes.
Also he has 3 eyes, so da-da-da.
I didn't really have one for Julian.
I think I'll just quickly
Jokingly, I said the lesbian, but like.
because here's the thing. I think the idea, because me and June discussed a little bit of this in the past, the idea we had for post-scratch Julian is effectively she is after us as Sappho. Like, fully just like quote unquote the first lesbian. Not like actually the first, but the
Yeah.
an ancient figure of history that is incredibly notable for being just into women really, really significantly.
That's not 8 letters. Damn it.
Why?
7.
What's not?
I was gonna say the amorous, but amorous isn't.
Yeah. The Lustrous.
That seems a bit. That I feel like that has a different connotation.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can go back to it. We'll just
The romantic.
blank. The romantic.
There you go.
Yeah.
The romantic.
Brilliant.
All right, we got Arthur's. Nemana.
So what
Well,
would
it doesn't even have to be
post-scratch Nemana
the.
like?
It doesn't even.
Yeah, it
have
doesn't have to be.
think
It could
of
just
the
be a name.
It just has to be.
But yeah, what would post-scratch Nemana be like?
I feel like post-scratch Nemana would probably still. I feel post-scratch Nemana would probably still kind of do what Nemana does. Of basically, he is a revolutionary force to change things. Except in After Us, thinking of what we've come up with so far, it works.
Okay, how about the Deviator?
I'm thinking After Us.
The
I'm thinking After Us. The thing that deviates it from both Alternia and Before Us there are no future bloods. All of them are killed at birth to prevent the hemospectrum being completed, so to speak. There can be no Condus, there can be no High Blood, there can be no, Empress. There's just the guy up top. There's just like the quote. I'm assuming probably an elected leader, effectively, but it would basically be like you are electing the leader of the Department of War. It's still very Alternia-esque, but things are a little more streamlined, effectively, a little more efficient, almost.
Do you think then that there would be Lime Bloods?
I think there could be Lime Bloods in after us, potentially, or possibly post-Scratch Nemina decides, oh yeah, they were exterminated for a reason. We keep getting rid.
But yeah, shall we go with the Deviator?
Nah, let's keep Lime Bloods instead, and let's have the Fuchsia Bloods be genocided instead.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. That's what we're doing here. So the Deviator or the Dictator.
Ooh.
There is no Condus, there's just the Dictator.
I see, very good.
And that's the thing. He would be the Dictator, but full title would presumably be the first Dictator, effectively.
Yeah.
As Dictator would just be the title of the ruling Violet Blood. But he would be the Dictator, like capital T, the capital D Dictator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Masson.
Unfortunately, the plumber is
It's
7
very
dollars.
unfortunate that we
It's 7
can't.
letters.
Plumber is 7.
Yeah. The Handyman.
The Handyman.
Bro,
Just not a very remarkable historical
Very
figure.
unremarkable,
No.
honestly. He's
But
only
man, can he
remarkable
build a
because of the guys he
hive?
made. Damn, did he build a good hive?
damn, did he make Alternia's plumbing systems?
Now, Callie.
You mean Cereza?
Or Cereza. sorry.
Cereza.
Callie's ancestor.
Yeah.
Cereza's ancestor. Cereza on after us.
I want to work like the anger into it.
Yeah, and I kind of want to. I kind of want to at least have one name in here that isn't the blank. As well.
Not the.
Shit.
I mean, it doesn't have to be her that has no the. I just want to have one person that has no the in there.
The Wrathful. I was
Hey.
thinking.
The only one and the only thing that could contain her wrath was the romantic.
For Opal,
Oh, Pearl.
were there any that didn't have the in it?
Yeah, there was
Dulscar,
Mindfang.
Oh,
Red Glare.
Dulscar and Mindfang.
Yeah,
Um,
Dulscar, Mindfang, Red Glare.
I think that was it.
Darkleer, the real
Yeah,
name of the
Darkleer.
Executioner.
Well, given
And
she's
I
a purple
think
blood,
that's it.
an indigo blood even, she would fit into like that kind of thing
Well,
like Dulscar did. So
This is violet, but
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, I said
In-
violet.
indigo's
I
down
said
here.
I corrected
You said
myself.
indigo.
Yeah,
You said
yeah,
indigo.
yeah.
Oh,
said indigo.
We get you. We get you. We get you.
We get what you mean. You just went the wrong way down the heat along the heat.
It's okay. It's all.
Colour.
At the end of the day, it's all colour.
It's all colours. Anyway, so
Gold ring.
okay, yeah.
Did you hear that? Yeah. There you go.
That's a maybe. I think I do like the idea of her being very much known for her ostentatiousness and her, you know, over the top. You know, all that.
Hmm.
Let's see.
which I mean, gold ring kind of gets that across.
I think we could do better than Gold Ring, but I do think I do think Opal is the one to, at least one of the two potentially, to have a the name, or not the, a non-the name, rather. I think something more connected to the jewelry than the gold, because gold would have its own connotations for a troll planet, but
I mean, the jewelry, like gemstone, that's a...
Yeah.
just gemstone? Yeah, I think that works.
I feel like it should be like some synonym of flashy and then gemstone. I'm just looking through, like, it kind of like to get all the aspects in there. Could be obtruder, like obtrusive.
I'm thinking
avarice.
flash gem.
Flash gem. Yeah.
It's a one-word thing. Like, again, Mind Fang, Red Glare, Dual Scar. All just 2 words crammed together to make an 8-letter word.
Yeah. Alright.
And so we have Flash Gem. Could be iterated on, but I think that as the basic idea.
Yeah, for now,
works.
And then we have the Masa. Oppenheimer.
The inventor.
Here's the thing. The Inventor would work for Iridia's title
I see.
on
Yeah.
Alternia. This one, it's gotta be something. I was thinking, effectively, I'm disappointed the Warlord doesn't have an 8th letter. Or, you know. It's gotta be something to... It's gotta be related
Thinking something with mad in it.
I was thinking Arms Lord. Lord of Arms. And that could be another, like, name, not the name.
Yeah,
Also,
straight up arms.
not
It sounds
Amma's
more
Lord.
like a...
Spelling.
Lord.
That seems.
Arms
Here's the thing. I think it having Lord in it can, or if we swapped it to Lady, either way, it has very much more of a. This is the title, frankly.
Okay, fair enough.
Kind of thing. So we could the Arms Lord I think works, but just Arms Lord maybe doesn't.
Well, I was going to be Arms Lord something was my thought process, but I didn't know what the something was.
I was hoping for maybe not a the title.
Yeah, so it could be Arms Lord, and you said something with mad.
Arms Lord Mad Blast.
Mad.
Yes.
I love how it sounds like an orc general name, and honestly,
Yeah.
I love that for
Yes. We love
Arms Lord Mad Blast.
Meat's back on the menu, boys. And Arms Lord Mad Blast is back. Okay.
Yes,
Princess
obvious. I
Flashback.
mean, a fucking course.
Because it's got it as well. She is in this system. She would be very, very high ranking, like even more high ranking than she would be on Alternia, because again, no Condus. But as well, it's also very kind of a little humorously deceptive.
Yeah.
Of like, oh yeah, Princess Flash Gem. Obviously, she's a prince. Wrong. Witch.
Yeah. Alright.
Right. So
Is this when we're gonna leave it off for now, or?
I think the issue is we still have synopsises and additional information. You know what? We can do the rest of this off screen and then just reveal it in the next video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is a little bit
'Cause
left to do before we sign off, though. Of course,
Yeah.
some gaps. Right. Let's go for August's first.
Well, I think we called it like the blackout, didn't we? Essentially, like, or just like flashbang.
I thought Whiteout is something.
Whiteout, that's it.
Yeah, like modern Pokemon.
Basically, she can force the opposite of avoid blackout.
Yeah. And
But still
overload
is
of information which
indecipherable.
causes the thing to go white.
Completely indecipherable, yeah.
Yeah.
You still can't see through it, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah. And then script reading? Would that be what it was called?
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. She can effectively see the script. She can see what's
Whatever
going to
that
happen
means.
when.
Yeah.
And then we go to Lewis.
Right. Was there anything that I hadn't covered? Yeah. So it's the an overwriting power which lets him sort of kind of take the place of himself in an alternate timeline, like sort of like, yeah, just kind of
Yeah.
take over.
And why can he do that? Well, you'll have to see in a future video. We'll fill in the rest later. So,
Yeah.
June, Mason, what did you think of this episode of Writing Homestuck that is now 4 hours long?
Yeah. Jeez. We're
Basically.
oh, I love coming up with stuff like this.
Oh, I think we're cooking.
Yeah.
We're cooking. We're cooking with gas.
I can't wait to show some of the other stuff we've cooked up in our
Yeah.
brains.
Indeed.
Well, you've got to build that ground layer before you can get to the attic.
Yes.
You got to put that
You
oil in the pan
You
before you
gotta
can throw
you
the
gotta put
chicken
in
in.
the foundation before you build the house.
Exactly.
Gotta put the oil in the pan before you throw the
basically
chicken
what Mason
in.
said, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think it's now time for an outro. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you very much like this video and want to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. We upload episodes of our main series, Reading Homestuck, every Monday or Tuesday, depending on your time zone, and we upload other things on Thursdays or Fridays, again, depending on your time zone. Other things such as this, Writing Homestuck. It is a lot of fun making these, and more is to come, as you can expect from the fact that, you know, we just made new characters. The next video in this will be the beginning of their journey. Figuring out, you know, how they start off in this brave new world. Because After Us is a completely different fucking world. It
Yeah.
functions a bit differently. And we can kind of make up anything Homestuck adjacent we kind of want for it.
Yay!
Hooray! So, ooh yeah. Yes. We also, on Thursdays and Fridays, do Diggin'Rimper. Diggin'Rimper, another one. It is a Danganronpa parody, improv comedy board game thing. It's a lot of fun as well. I'd recommend you check it out. These two and Arthur play one traveling sociopath with one brain cell. And very strange luck. Very, very strange. You'll just have to watch the fucking video to find out. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yes. There's also Dicey Deeds, our tabletop role-playing podcast show thing. Our main series on that is Lancer, mech RPG where we play as the Canaries. Us three play as the Canaries because Arthur is the GM. A Suicide Squad-esque group that basically just, it's Suicide Squad but with mechs, and if you compare it to the first one, infinitely better writing.
Yeah.
If you compare it to the second one, I'd say they're on par. But in different ways. We also do various other games there, such as Call of Cthulhu, or Honey Heist, or 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, or Call of Cthulhu again, or Morkborg a couple times, or Gloom, even though it's not even a tabletop role-playing game, it's a full-on card game, But we do variety. We do a variety of stuff. You can also, I don't believe there's any other stuff we do significantly other than, a few one-off things. So, yes, you can also follow me on Tumblr and on Blue Sky, where I post things sometimes. The images you saw at the beginning-ish of this video, after I remembered them, you can find over there. In threads I've created on both sites for the various images created by yours truly, and on Tumblr also some brilliant stuff made by Ria Hiveswap. I haven't put up any of the Friendsim ones yet. I think I might put them all up, A, with direct approval, and B, all at once all of them are finished. Just to get the whole set. But there is some other stuff made by Ria Hiveswap over there that I think you should go check out. It's some good, very much like pages from the comic, hypothetical comic that you can see over there. On Tumblr specifically, I didn't put them up on Blue Sky. I'm rambling now. You can also follow, also you can send me asks, DMs, whatever you so choose on either of those places. You can also follow June on Tumblr, Blue Sky, and on Instagram. June.
Yeah, you can follow me there. At some point I'll upload something. Look, creativity is a thing that has been sacked from me. I don't know what happened to it, but it's been sacked. I need to get it back.
Damn.
Bear with me.
Damn. Rough. And you can also follow Arthur on Twitch. Unfortunately, again, he could not be here, but you know where you can find him. It's on his Twitch on Sunday evenings, Sunday evenings here, 7 p.m. GMT to about 10 p.m. GMT. He is, to my knowledge, currently playing Omori, so you can go check that out. It's a good time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe one of us will show up in chat. Every so often when we got time. Mayhaps. We shall see. But yes, so with the time zones, it's, Sunday or Monday, depending on your time zone, I guess. But it's, you'll have to check it out to find out how it's going. And Mason, do you want to have anything to say here at the end of this episode of Writing Homestuck?
only to say thank you all so much for watching. We love making these. We love making everything we do, but I certainly love making these a ton, and we hope you love enjoying them, and that you also do enjoy them.
Yes.
It's quite late. You might
I hope
be
you're
able to
not
tell.
hate watching this series. That would be deeply saddening.
Yeah.
Deeply saddening and
Also very
unfortunately
strange.
kind of cringe.
Yeah. Quite. Yeah.
Also
But-
very cringe.
Yeah.
But-
It's a lot of fun, and
And not the kind of cringe we celebrate.
yeah.
No,
There's
no,
good
it
cringe
would
and
be
bad
very
cringe,
much-
as we know from
Yeah,
the wolves.
it would be very bad cringe for you to hate watch this.
It'd be a
series,
bad cringe
and
wolf.
very good cringe for you to love watching it.
Yeah, so yeah, and if you have any theories or ideas or suggestions or anything, please leave them in the comments. Or be mindful though that occasionally YouTube will eat your comments, so possibly better idea to send them to Alex on Tumblr and Blue Sky in that case.
You only need to send them to one. You don't need to send it to both. But if you really want me to see it, I guess send it to both.
But
if you're really that
always a ton of fun with these, and I cannot wait. I mean, I need to sleep, but I also cannot wait to continue revealing some of the things that we have in the kitchen.
Ah, yes. More courses to come. More courses to come. But, yes, with those suggestions, by the way, before I sign off, with those suggestions, who knows? Maybe we'll take some on board and adapt and change things a little bit. Who knows? Although, of course, some things you can only season a meal so much, and half of these are already mostly cooked. So, with that, I guess we'll see you in the next video. Later.
Bye bye.
Bye.